We made it. All right.
Got to the top.
Yep.
Robert's not convinced. He's like, nah, I don't know, man. He doesn't feel like we made it yet.
Doesn't feel any different to me. So
this mission just
it don't feel like the top. Wait, what? Feels like I'm still in my apartment. Actually, wait.
I was just gonna say right before we're live.
Where's my yacht? Where's my yacht?
I mean, you are in
next to the
Colorado,
mansion.
so you're technically at the top, right?
Technically, sure, I guess.
He makes a good point. I was going to say right before we actually start, the first section is like more anecdotal stuff. If you want, I mean, you can talk about the games you play, but normally that's the other section. It's not a not a requirement. Just we want to find out about you, the man behind the games.
It's a job interview.
Where do you see yourself in 20 minutes? I'm just asking.
Bored out of my mind.
Wow, we better get started. All right. Let me jot this down. All right. I do try to keep the show somewhat edited, so be yourself, but just don't make me edit like 50 different things out. Just be nice.
Yeah, this is the point in the show where if you have to get something out, just say it now.
Tiny does. He's like,
keep your other personalities in check.
I mean, be you, but just be kind at the same time. That's all.
You're asking a lot there, Aaron.
I know.
That was not in your notes.
You know what? That's fair. All right. It is Thursday, March the 7th. This GameEnthus Podcast, episode 369. I'm Aaron, one of the hosts. Mike is here, who you can't see, but he's here. 7 days. Yes. That was real normal.
I thought this was like turning into like a Donnie Darko kind of thing.
Seriously, he's become a dead white girl now, apparently.
7
crawling
days,
out of a well
12 hours, 30 minutes.
Crawling out of a broken Virtual Boy visor to kill everyone.
Man, the new Labo kit went dark.
Oh, yeah.
So Labo or Labo?
Labo, I don't care.
Labo.
Lamo.
We're going to get into that as well. But Mike and I are usually here, so enough about us. We have two guests this week. The gentleman who hosts the is it you say ARG or R? You say ARG.
The Rcast.
We just say Rcast.
Yeah, you just say ARG. Okay. The Rcast, which stands for another retro
gaming podcast.
Yeah.
So we have Robert and David. Welcome, gentlemen.
What's up?
Talk at the same time because I introduced you both at the same time. So just say everything together.
No, we talk over each other all the time. You're like, David, shut up for 5 minutes. Okay.
It's hard.
It's hard.
So let's start with you, Robert. For the folks who don't, for the three people who don't know you,
yeah,
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a journalist in the middle of professional writing gigs at the moment, and usually just lingering over twitter.com/TheDCD and a number of Nintendo Switch groups over on Facebook. And then I co-host Ardcast with David there. And currently you can find my work at maroonersrock.com, MMOgames.com, and superherohype.com. So just doing some gigs on the side here while I try to land my feet in a full-time position. So
cool. You sound really busy.
I'm trying to be.
That's all right. That's all right. David.
Ask David about his dance fetish.
Yeah, talk about it now. So there you go.
Yeah, I guess so. So I'm David Giltonen. Been in the gaming industry for over 7 years now. Started off with my own blog, did a YouTube channel, helped start Retro Magazine. I did that along with Robert. So that's where Robert and I met professionally, if you will. I helped start that, did that for a few years, and then then kind of broke away from that, and now we're doing Rcast, which is another retro gaming podcast, along with Robert. So, been doing that for about 3 years now. It's going to be a 3-year anniversary next month.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. That's all right. How many episodes you guys up to?
We're at 152 with this week's, where we talked with Bill Gardner about Turok.
Turok, yeah. And then after that, we have our Rcast mini episodes. Like we do like mini episodes as well, more short form kind of podcast episodes with Greg Johnson, who's the creator of Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh, okay. I need to play more of that.
Yeah, you do.
The new game's great. It's very much like a love letter to the original games. So.
And what's sad is they sent it out so early, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get to it," and then You know how that goes.
Then you didn't get to it?
You never really get to it. It's like, oh
I
yeah.
would be like, I should play this someday.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you guys have a backlog of stuff that you need to do something with.
Yeah.
It's
The backlog is real, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, once you get your hands on Devil May Cry 5, everything else just takes a back seat. That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, Capcom and I have agreed to. They would only send me emails for me to just buy their games. So until that relationship changes,
Yeah.
for now, but it's fine. I don't really get a lot of attention from the larger companies, that's fine. I'm an indie guy. That's how I do. That's how I do. All right, so David, I guess anecdotally, what's been going on with you as of late, just in life?
As late in life. Well, I did not, about a few months ago, started writing for NintendoEnthusiast.com. So that is something I'm doing as far as writing wise. Aside from that, I'm also finishing stuff up with my personal website, actually, so I can get things going with a voiceover as well. That's something I'm pretty passionate about, and I want to really try to pursue, just harder, really, just actually try to pursue it. And aside from that, also been seeing someone since December 30th, so things are going well at that end as well.
December 30th.
She hasn't tried to kill him yet, so that's a good thing.
Not yet, no. But it was kind of funny though, because I started seeing her right after Robert and I did a recording of an Artcast episode where I remember at the end of that episode you were like, "Oh, whatever, David, I'm gonna get more dates than you."
I actually never said that.
You did. You totally did, man. It was at the end of one of the last episodes of the year.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I don't know if senior citizens count, but
Okay.
They have money. What? They have money.
I just kind of found that funny.
And free time.
I wish her at the end of that episode. She had a pretty good laugh out of it too. But she thinks you're very charming, Robert. So
I try to be. And let's talk about this here. David likes to go to arcades and post Instagram photos or videos of him playing Dance Dance Revolution. Currently, it's Dance Dance Revolution A, I believe it is.
Yep, the DDRA.
Yeah, and I actually found him a bunch of PlayStation 2 DDR games. I'm going to give him at PAX. So I don't know if he's got a PS2.
Games, right?
Yeah, the Supernova games and some other ones. But
yeah,
I mean, every third day or something like that. It's like, hey, I'm here at the arcade. Watch
yeah, yeah, they live video every so often whenever it strikes the mood. But yeah, it's fun though. I used to play DDR Max and Max 2 actually on the PS2. That was a big reason why I even got the PS2 was supposed to play play DDR. So yeah.
I am in awe when I see people playing those games because I still subscribe to the theory that it's not really people aren't moving to a rhythm. I don't think, and I don't get it.
You do, but it's more of moving to basically just kind of land your steps as accurately as possible.
I can't do that.
So yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me.
People in Japan, they dance oh my god. 100 perfect, and they're scrambling their feet like they're on fire or something.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It is all. It's wow.
It is. I'm not making fun of them. I'm like, how the hell? And then you walk off normal. It'll be like, wait, your legs kept caught up. Wait, what's going on?
Yeah,
your knee isn't twisted. Okay, all right.
Yeah, seriously.
We had a bet
for those guys. It's more about trying to get what's called PFCs or perfect full combos, which means that you're basically getting every step at a perfect or marvelous. Basically, and anything less than that, it's considered a failure in their parts. So.
Oh,
this is why I don't start
home at that point.
Yeah, it's
you have no ride. You have no ride.
I'm at that level myself because I play with no bar and everything, so I can play songs that are than 12 or 13 difficulty, but these guys are doing 16, 17.
What's the next lower rating beyond perfect?
Toddler
grade. It goes marvelous, perfect, great, good, almost, and a miss.
Oh,
and
man!
Then
so
there's 500 feet of crap, and then there's my dancing style.
Right. So if you actually hit a good, you just forget it. Your life, you can't even go at that point.
For those guys, yes, but good still
keeps
your combo going. So there is that.
Right. It's I can't even show my face in this arcade ever again because I just got a good by accident.
Right. Well, that's if you already have the reputation that these guys hold. So,
because I'd be like, oh man, I got a single good. I can just walk away and be thrilled forever. Like I don't ever need to play this game again.
It all depends on your goals, because like personally, like I like to do it for like the fun of it, and also because it's great it's great cardio, honestly. So
I bet.
Yeah. I mean,
I've seen the sweat falling to the ground.
I've smelled the sweat, so yeah, it's real.
It's real for sure.
A mixture of sangria.
There you go.
Yeah. I remember
a lovely bouquet.
I remember I used to work at an arcade that had stream in it, and there was the former Patriots player Ty Law who came in, and I came up to like the side of him and I asked him, saying like, hey, hey Ty, are we going to see you on the DDR machine? It's like, nah, man, that's too fast for me. It's just like, too fast. You're a football player,
It's a different skill, though. It's
a different skill, yeah. And imagine too, like if he got like, if he actually got like injured, like while trying to play, and like that'd be like really embarrassing.
Oh,
in the Globe,
So not just embarrassing, but potentially breach of contract.
There's that too. Yes.
What is DDR considered like an extreme
it's
sport?
An exercise.
It's like skiing. But obviously a little more coordinated. But I mean, it's like when what's his name? Karl Malone did WCW wrestling ages ago, and he couldn't really do anything incredibly physical because it might get in the way of his basketball career.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or Andrew Pac-Man Jones, or no, just Pac-Man Jones. Sorry, I don't know where Andrew came from. And he couldn't do anything in wrestling either because football contract. So I mean, they have very strict guides. Like they won't even allow like Fortnite in the locker rooms anymore because they're worried Fortnite takes way too much coordination.
I imagine it was the same thing too for Lawrence Taylor when he was up against Bam Bam Bigelow in WrestleMania.
Yeah, he was real careful.
Things weren't as litigious then, but it might have been that way. But I remember that Karl Malone was with DDP. And he was suplexing a lot of people, but I guess that's him suplexing other people, not being suplexed.
Yeah,
but you can hurt yourself picking someone up.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of the same thing when they had like Jay Leno or Dennis Rodman in WCW, like all that stuff. So,
yeah.
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno was in WCW.
I can't even imagine.
Mike, when I tell you that David Arquette was the champion, like
Dennis Rodman, oh god,
when David Arquette became champion, that's wow. Yeah. That's
WCW legacy, right?
But he's the guy that like he tries, right? Like he's into it.
Who, Leno?
David Arquette.
Oh, Arquette, yeah. Like he was like really into it, but like I think part of him becoming champion was also meant to like promote the that wrestling movie that he did. I forget the name of it.
Was it Ready to No? Was it Ready to Rumble?
Was it Ready to Rumble? No.
It was the sequel game to that Dreamcast classic.
Exactly. Yeah, the Afro,
Cannon
and the
Spike,
gloves, and all that stuff. Cannon Spike. Yeah. Oh man, if you talk to Robert and I about the Dreamcast, we're going to be here all night. I can tell you that.
You pretty much. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, so come on, WCW.
Fury, we're going to talk for like at least 30 minutes about Feet of Fury, then, right?
Yeah.
Well.
Okay.
Or Ooga Booga.
All right, Robert.
Yeah.
And any anecdotal updates from you?
I don't dance. I will say this. I will say this. I do have a somewhat interesting connection to Battletoads, and I discussed this on the show. I mean, I have a Battletoads banner on my Twitter page. I have a Battletoads shrine with the little foam hands from E3. I'm considering, if I can afford it at some point, a Battletoads tattoo on my arm. So yeah.
Now, would you be
that's serious?
The existing Battletoads? Or are you like a new, like in the vein? Like, are you going to be like Puss or something like that?
The fourth Battletoads.
First of all, if I get a Battletoads name, I would not be Puss.
Well, if it was Puss Mike, that means that he would have come out of rash, zits, or pimple.
Yeah, but I don't want to be known as run. It's Puss.
Yeah.
Eczema. How about that?
I mean,
no, not eczema.
What would be a fourth Battletoad?
The fourth Battletoad honestly would be Wart from Super Mario Brothers 2. If you really
that's true.
I'm into Wart.
I like that.
Oh god.
Okay, Robert, I'm going to challenge you.
How about Mole?
Mole?
Okay.
Mole. There you go. Yeah.
Mole works because Mole doesn't sound horrible, except people probably think I dig myself up from the ground. I don't know.
Birthmark. Yeah.
So I guess
I got plenty of those.
I have a challenge for you, Robert. Have you seen the Battletoads pilot cartoon?
Yes, I have, and I'd rather not.
Okay.
It's one of those cartoons to be like, why does this exist? There's a reason they canceled it.
It's pretty awful.
It's pretty bad.
It's terrible. It's sort of like when you think about the Earthworm Jim cartoon and how like the voice of Homer Simpson voiced him, and like
Dan Castellaneta. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I guess you're not getting a get warty with it tattoo then with the Battletoads.
No, it's probably no. It's just going to be the Battletoads emblem. I'm not going to go out of control. I'm not going to put it on my ass. So
it's an option. Yeah. I'm just saying,
No, it's not.
It never was.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Wow. All right. I didn't know you were. I knew you liked. I know you liked it that much, but Battletoads is cool.
I mean, we talked about it. I mean, I explained my reason as to why I have such a connection to it. I don't know which episode it was, a few episodes back, but it's not like, I'm going to paint myself green and walk around PAX. How you doing? I'm not that nuts, but yeah, I'll wear a Battletoads shirt. I did. I wore my Battletoads shirt during the last Microsoft E3 press conference. Then they announced the Battletoads game, and
that's awesome.
All these people on Twitter were like, "I know who's happy right now. The DCD's happy right now. Also, Danny Pena over there at Gamer Tag Radio is happy right now."
Yeah, he's a fan as well. Yeah, it was nice to see them do something with a property that they're just sitting on. They have so many.
It is nice. I mean, we still haven't seen anything on it, but hopefully that'll change. Maybe at PAX.
Yeah, it'll come to the Switch first.
Surprise everybody. I mean, at this rate, that would be a hell of a partnership. I would take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have the Xbox Gamer Pass that's going to go to Switch. That's always possible.
The Game Pass, yeah.
I tell people, if you want to play Battletoads, play it on Rare Replay because you can rewind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do save states.
I know, if you screw up on the thing, you don't have to wait to restart. You just rewind.
Yeah, I did the Turbo Tunnel because of rewind. That's the only reason I was able to finish it.
That's the only reason. So you didn't do it like a man, like I did.
Right. Like a man.
Look away!
You wanted my attention. There it is.
Oh,
and
all right.
Like if you use like a Game Genie, like a real man, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm going through the walls. Does that count? That counts, right? Yeah.
As long as you get to the end of it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask you what you feel about the warping in Battletoads, since you're against the rewinding.
Well, I mean, if you can't make the turbo tunnel all the way, yeah. I mean, if you go like past the first, what was it, 10 tiles in turbo tunnel? There's
you
a
have
warp
to
gate
purposely slam into one of them, and that's where the warp is.
Yeah, you barely see the warp gate, but if you go into it, you jump ahead like 2 or 3 levels.
That works.
Yeah. So now you know. The more you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's right. Getting to know our guests. That's what this is all about. Mike, update us. What have you been up to?
The earlier Ring reference is to the fact that 1 week from tonight, really, not this late, but Thursday next week is settlement on the old house.
Hey.
So, barring any unforeseen ridiculousness, everything will be done at that point, and I will be able to sleep better at night.
I mean, you've already had bears living there. You had the furnace thing.
Well, it wasn't just that they were living there. It was they were actually boxing in the house.
That's weird.
And selling tickets. It was a disaster.
And not cutting you in either. Like,
what's
the deal?
It was all under the table.
It's like a Don King joint or something.
Sounds like it.
He ain't doing nothing else.
In America.
Only in America.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's been a lot of like, not that the buyers are unreasonable, but like asking me to do things that are just like, hey, what if I didn't live so close? Like, you might have been asking me to do hours of work a day.
They don't care.
No, they don't. It's just it's nuts. And now I got to deal with this thing. Are they going to take over the same company, like basically get a new contract with the same company that supplied the propane before? Because if they don't, I get screwed. And if they do, I still get screwed, but at least they get something out of it.
That's what it's all about, the sharing.
Yeah, the thing that I just learned yesterday is that according to Pennsylvania law, when they buy the house, they just own all of the propane that's in the tanks that I literally just paid for a week ago and cannot use.
Well,
okay.
Well, I mean, this might be a silly question. Would you siphon would you transfer the propane back out?
Hey,
I don't know. I don't have propane.
I can't say I haven't thought about putting up a Craigslist ad to say anybody that knows how to get propane out of this thing and wants to fill their little.
You know what? When you're dealing with gases that are flammable, maybe it's for the best. You just leave it.
That's why it's not worth it. I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to blow anything up. I'm going to be very cautious. It's
There's a reason why you don't walk through Walmart with the propane tank. There's a reason why. It's out back. It's on the side.
I will tell you, speaking of Walmart, I do find it kind of ironic or stupid, or maybe I don't know what the difference is. But
ironic, stupid.
You know how when you have those, what are they? Maybe like 5 gallons or something. The tanks for your for your barbecue, the propane tanks are like, you cannot bring that into the store.
Yes.
That is too dangerous,
Yep.
even when it's empty, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But you can go to the camping section of any Walmart or Target or anything else that sells those little 1 gallon propane things, and there's an entire shelf full of them. Is that somehow inherently less dangerous than one single, almost completely depleted 5 gallon tank?
In terms of their insurance, yes.
I don't know. Whatever it is, and I'm making up now. I don't know if they're probably not 1 in 5 gallon. I'd like whatever the numbers are. You know what I'm talking about? The super mini
the little teeny ones. Yeah,
the refillable barbecue ones, and then from there it's obviously much larger that you're not walking around with.
I wouldn't test that theory out. Just follow the rules. You'll be fine.
Whatever it is, I'll be happy to be done with all that. But on a semi-related, but not really, indirectly related note, because it's not for the old house, but the money that we're getting back after settlement, I want to put into some minor issues in the new place, part of which is getting toilets that aren't terrible, and the toilets we have here have their own issues. They're not the same issue, but they're each stupid in their own way. And it never occurred to me how many options they could come up with for toilets between brands and models and everything. It's basically like saying, I just need a car. Any car will do. Oh, okay. Here's a billion choices spread out amongst every manufacturer on the planet.
Well, I imagine you have like also options for like low flow and like things like that, right?
Well, no. I mean, yes, because there are options amongst low flow, but there are no options that aren't low flow. That's been illegal since '94.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just like a state thing though, or?
No, that is a federal mandate. Like
really?
94 and beyond, you cannot have a toilet that uses more than 1.6 gallons per flush.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Oh. However, a lot of manufacturers make toilets that if you just hold the handle down, you'll use a lot more water and have a more effective flush.
That's what I do. Yeah.
That's called a workaround.
It depends on
debug mode on that.
Hang on, I'm taking notes. This is something I want to keep in mind for my toilet.
This is also ToiletEnthus episode 1.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's a maximum amount of water, no matter how long you hold the handle down. It just totally depends on the way the toilet is designed.
Well, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GameEnthus.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting adventure. Maybe let's just call it that.
That is a way of putting it.
Oh my god!
Right. Yeah. So I haven't exactly decided, but I've narrowed it down. So anyway, I'm working on that. That's just something that I am planning to do during the day leading up to settlement of the old house. Because it's late in the. I hope it all works out.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I really hope I'm not counting any chickens from the eggs that are lined up in the hen house. Just please let it all work out and everything will be fine. So anyway,
counting your chickens before they hatch. I guess that's
in the toilet.
Exactly.
In the toilets.
Exactly. Or counting the toilets before they flush.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So,
there you go.
Just totally switching gears here altogether. I was at a Dave & Buster's not too long ago, and it was super crowded, surprisingly, but whatever. And I walked past an air hockey table that had branding for Pac-Man on it. And I was just like, oh, what is this? And I watched some people play, and they're playing a regular old game of air hockey. And then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of really small discs just dump all over the board.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
I've played this
and then
before,
it
yeah.
becomes like
I've
a
heard of it.
frenzy of who can knock this or that into each other's goal, so that when you win, your score is like 100 and something.
Yeah.
Right.
And
It just
I was
turns
like,
to the
"All right,
mayhem, basically. Yeah.
I gotta try this out." So I did try it, and I do like air hockey. I think it is one of the better, like, classic all time, like, arcade things, like between skee ball and bubble hockey and things like that. Things that are like, yeah, it hasn't really changed all that much over the years. I always think air hockey, like a really good air hockey table, is one of the best experiences you can get out of an arcade if the competition is comparable.
Mhm.
If the
And-
competition, but if there is no competition or they suck at it, then it's the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not, or if the table is garbage, like the airflow
Yeah.
stinks
Yeah.
or the equipment is broken or whatever. That,
Mhm.
but you
Which
know,
a
all
lot of the
things
time they
being equal-
are, honestly.
Oh yeah,
right.
People know how to shut down air hockey tables. I don't know how. They just do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So, but I did try it out, and it was nuts. But it's also really, really short, like compared to a regular game of air hockey, which can take like a few minutes. This game is like, you get like maybe 2 minutes total. No matter what happens, it's over.
Nah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right, well, whatever. But it was kind of interesting. I'm
Mhm.
glad I at least tried it once, but I think I'm good.
Yeah, I mean that game honestly is just meant to be like crazy, insane. Just put like a new spin on air hockey, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
never
it's
heard of
also meant to
this.
kind of get you off of it sooner, so more people can
Yeah.
spend money on it.
Yeah, because somebody, like we did, we walked up and we saw it, and it was just like, oh, well, that's wild. Oh, they're done playing. Great, good timing. We can jump in and play a game of it now.
Is it better or worse than the Rampage movie game that they made last year?
I did see that. We walked past it. I looked at it, and I was just like, I'm not into this game or that movie. So
The movie was fun. The movie,
Movie
It
was
was,
come
was
on.
all right, honestly.
It was better than Skyscraper.
Well,
it kind of
that's
was.
not saying much, honestly.
So we
Yeah, but it
set the
kinda
bar
was,
about
though.
3 inches from the floor, and then we stepped over it.
Luckily, like
Hell of a pole vault we just did right there.
it was a fun movie. It knew what it was. That's
It knew, well, I guess you could say it.
When it
knew
comes
what
to video
yeah.
game films, you can either have a good time with it or you don't. And with
I had a good time. It was
by
ridiculous.
no means is it the worst video game movie.
Yeah.
It's way far.
Just
from
don't say
that.
anything about Street Fighter. That's David's territory.
Of
Raul
course.
Julia? Who insults Raul Julia? Game over.
That was his last movie too, and he's such a good actor.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love Raul Julia. He was really good.
Yeah.
Like, along with like Adam's Family, like he was in like some like Spanish speaking movies that were like really really good. I remember seeing those in college. Like they were really really good.
What was
And
the
he was
quote
really-
as Bison for the whole? It was Tuesday thing.
You come here. Oh yeah. Well, to me, it was. Hang on, let me see if I can find the exact quote. I remember this one. You
was like,
came
for
here
you,
expecting to
like-
take on a madman, but instead you face a god.
Yeah, but like that like
He-
speech he gives like to,
Yeah,
like,
he
John
hammed it
Lane,
up,
Here we
like-
go.
but it was good.
For
Yeah,
you,
he really
for
had
you.
that, yeah.
Here we go. For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday.
It's such a great line.
It really was.
Not to mention the girl who played Chun Li. That's Ming Na from Agents of
She gives a
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
gives like
it
that
is.
kind of face. So good.
Yeah,
Oh man.
definitely.
I should
Cornball.
watch that
I don't
again.
know how we want it. It's
Oh, you
it's
should.
It's stupid fun.
It's-
Once you realize that Jean-Claude Van Damme is high as a kite, but it's stupid.
Is
fun.
he
Yeah.
high? Is that
Oh,
explain
he's-
all
he
the
was high.
sweating?
He snorted it. Yeah,
He was high, and he was also banging Kylie Minogue as well. On the side.
apparently. Yeah, giving it to Cammy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she was playing as Cammy in that.
He
game.
couldn't get her out of his head. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it just sort of the close things out. I met up with a friend of the show, G Nitro, on
Nitro.
Sunday to
Nice.
trade some beers and check out a brewery that's kind of right in between the both of us that I'd never been to, he'd never been to.
The Duff Brewery.
That would be fun, but no. It's a place that operates completely on the system of using a card and you pour your own.
Mm,
So it's a whole bunch of taps on the wall, and you put in your card, and then you can fill your glass to whatever level you want, and
Yeah.
they charge you per ounce it pours.
That can get very dangerous.
Oh yeah,
They can, but
well, they
is
have a few of those places in Denver like that, where you can just charge a card and then you pour as much beer as you can onto the card, and then if you want some more, you just make sure you're not intoxicated.
Right. There
Charge
is a hard cutoff on a certain ounce number, and then you have to go back and get like reauthorized in case you're not in good shape. They want to be able to.
So there's still like a human that can like stop you. If
Right. Like I think it's 32 ounces max, something like that.
Okay.
And you can't just go. And you can't just go up to the funnel and like stick your mouth underneath and just let it pour.
Like the Barney. Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. That didn't
just
work
hook it up to my veins.
Listen, I don't need this thing called a glass. Just point. There it is.
I think my heart stopped. Wait,
like
there it goes.
Somebody will
there it goes.
Something, but there's nothing physically there to stop you from doing that.
Oh, well.
All right.
That's
Good
not
thing
what they
for
told me when they
restraint,
threw me
right?
out of there.
Right, exactly.
They didn't give you the chance. We know this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped drinking like hardcore a year ago. People are still wary. Be like, wait, you're not gonna? No, I'm just having one. Okay, I'm gonna count just to make sure. But,
Yeah. So it was fun. It was good to meet up with him, and we started talking about some plans for some future events. So we'll see how all that works out. But I want to mention this too. This is totally separate again. But because I've mentioned so many times about all the travails I've had with Best Buy and all the phone calls and everything with the customer service, and I think I've mentioned on the show as well with the Best Buy credit card that I have, where they actually stopped me from making a $6 purchase at a Chick-fil-A to buy a sandwich because it was not in the same state as my home zip code. Despite the fact that it's within 20 minutes of driving, they somehow thought that was completely. There's no way that this could possibly be legit. However, they thought no problem at all whatsoever to charge $100 at a gas pump in Florida that I've never been to multiple times in the same day without telling me. They're like, yeah, that must have been fine. No problem. I see nothing. Everything is good.
Nothing shady here.
Nothing to see here.
Continue on with our day. Once I saw that, I was just like, hello, what are you doing? You need to fix this. So I had to cancel the card, and after I called to cancel, 2 more $100 at a gas station pump charges showed up on the account. So they took care of that immediately because they were like, oh yeah, they've already told us that this is stupid. But the first 2, they're like, yeah, we need to investigate this. Like, I'm sure there's like a tractor trailer or something that could pull up and pump $100 in gas, but how many vehicles can pump $200 in gas in one day at a pump? Like, I don't know.
Probably like a big either a tractor trailer truck or one of those vans like in Devil May Cry 5, like the live-in vans.
79 and a half Vespas.
The Winnebagos, or whatever.
Right.
Boom.
People roll up and just start pouring gasoline in giant Glad alligator bags and zip
Probably
ties.
Shaggy and Scooby in the mystery machine.
Just in case we run out, we better have some more.
Yeah.
I mean, not just
credit card fraud scoops.
not just the Chick-fil-A thing though, but they even stopped purchases on BestBuy.com shipped directly to my house because they're like, that purchase wasn't from your home zip code. I'm like, it's your website. You know where your thing is located.
You should know
where it's being sent to, and somehow you're like, are you sure that's really you? Like,
yeah.
So which credit card company is this, so I know to avoid them in the future?
Well, it's Citibank.
Oh, yeah. Well,
They're a sponsor of the show? No, I'm kidding.
I own stocks in Citibank Corporation.
better sell that stock.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's the partnership with Best Buy, so it's not like I was just like, what Citibank card can I get? It was just
Here's what they use,
in the store.
One of those fancy ones from the future.
But yeah, they give me more grief than any other credit card that I own. And other than them, only Discover like just like on their own found fraud and was just like, yeah, we're taking care of that for you now. So
remember, I
But
got all
also
those
don't-
Retron 5s, so you guys, some Urban Outfitters
yeah,
in DC. Yeah, I live in Maryland. I'm in DC. You know, I go to DC to work. I remember
I
they
didn't think that Urban Outfitters would even hold a Retron 5 or any gaming.
they had a bunch
yeah,
of that stuff in
strangely.
there. I cleaned them out though. They were like $40 a piece. But yeah, I used my debit card, and they were like, yeah, it's not letting you purchase. I'm like, what? I just got like lunch with the same card in DC like 20 minutes ago. You know,
It's just like you tried to buy multiples of the same item. That's unauthorized.
you can't do that,
You can't.
even though it's
Sounds
clearance.
like-
But yeah.
It sounds like GameStop all over again. You can't trade in 5 copies of Minecraft. I'm like, but they're worth $12 each. What are you doing?
And they're still shrink wrapped,
Yeah,
which means they're better.
Yeah, they don't like that. They'll make you, before they would say, okay, walk out of the store, open it
they
up,
blocked me
come
from
back.
trade for 90 days. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, they come up with all sorts of things. Anything from "we will ban you" to "I'm calling the cops." Like,
Oh, that's why it's why GameStop is going out of business. So
Pretty
well,
much.
you won't be
it's a
seeing
major
GameStop
factor.
like past 2020. I'd say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as the all-digital Xbox model comes out, then used games will no longer exist.
Or that Switch Mini. Although I'm still going to buy Switch cartridges.
Yeah, we're slowly heading towards that era though. So
Yeah. It'll be
Yeah,
here.
you can't, taste the disgusting flavors of digital games.
You can. I just wouldn't recommend it.
You guys have to like the system. Make sure it's not
Oh.
plugged in.
yeah, it's more a placebo effect, I think.
Right?
You have to lick the
You want
internal
some of that.
storage on the board, and I don't, but, yeah.
Yep.
Or the SD card. So, and that's just weird.
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't have gone there.
No, we shouldn't have. No.
Having said that, let's transition to Aaron. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I'll be brief. I took the youngest kids to go see How to Train Your Dragon 3. I don't know if anybody's a fan of the series.
How was that?
It was good. It wasn't as good as the second one, just because discovering the
second one was
mom
great. Oh, really?
was
Yeah.
it's hard to top that, but it was good.
Wow, I
thought
only
it was
saw
a
the
nice
first
ride.
one.
Oh, good.
That was the second one, I think.
Yeah, I like the second one for its transition piece and everything like that, but the third one, I really liked the quality of the animation. I really liked
was
the way it
good.
kind of brought everything home.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was a good little ending, I thought. Really well done. But yeah, I mean, out of the 3, I think 2 is still my favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Just just like you said, just a new, very pivotal character that you heard a lot about in the first one.
Is it
Yeah.
one of the better movie trilogies that's out there right now?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's definitely better than the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. Not that it was
Whoa.
bad, but it definitely has
Whoa.
more quality. I mean, well, Kung Fu Panda. I think with the third one, they got way too much.
Hollow ground.
Sorry.
I really like those movies, but yeah,
All
but
right, they're
it's
great
all
movies,
relative.
Do
though.
not get me wrong, but I mean, compared to I think How to Train Your Dragon is DreamWorks' best franchise.
I don't know. You know what it is?
I would believe it.
I've
Yeah,
seen Kung Fu Panda. I've seen them all so many more times than that. Maybe it's because I just watched
Yeah.
it more. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it just kind of like holds that, I guess, like fresh nostalgia for you. I guess. in a
Well,
sense.
not to mention the fact, like, how many animated movies Gary Oldman is a killer peacock.
Yeah. Well, like what were
Yeah.
the central themes? Well, the first one was like, Inner Peace was the central theme. The
Yeah.
second one,
No, second one was Inner Peace.
Second
First
Peace,
one
yeah.
was discovering who you are.
Yes.
And then the third one was let's go nuts on the chi
yeah.
against Jonah Jameson.
No, it's,
How
you know
to
what it
Train
is?
Your Dragon.
It was the set pieces, like when
Yeah.
Tai Lung escaped from prison. That sequence was so dope. The way,
Yeah.
and the whole way, like if the bird never flew to the prison, his feather would have never fallen to the bottom of the prison, allowing Tai Lung to escape. Mm-hmm. There's a little more depth in some of it, but maybe I wanted to see it. Maybe it wasn't really there.
So anyway, go see How to Train Your Dragon 3 now.
It was good. The only thing about the ending was it seemed like, they wrapped up things with the antagonists, but like they wrapped up like too briefly. It was like, all right,
The How to Train Your Dragon movies always kind of felt to be like more heartfelt Pokemon movies in a lot of ways.
yeah, I can see that. We did see the trailer, the second or third trailer for the Pikachu detective thing.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu.
I really want to see that
Deadpool's
movie,
Pikachu.
and I don't care about Pokemon at all.
Yeah, same. You know, my nephew's gonna be like, "We're seeing it, right?" Nope, we're seeing it. But
Yeah.
okay, I guess I don't have a say.
Right. You don't have a say,
Gonna
Robert.
reach into your
I never have a say
pocket,
ever.
grab the credit card and the keys, and just drive himself to the theater.
Have fun. I'm gonna nap.
And then they'll call you about, the theater 2 miles from your house. Are you sure it's you? Is this in your area?
They need you to say that I'm you. Okay. Hi, me saying it's him. Okay, I'm hanging up now.
And since someone mentioned, I think Robert, it was you mentioning the discless Xbox One.
Yeah, what it is, it's called the SAD. I don't know. Hang on.
What is
Wait,
that?
is that what it's actually called?
It's originally known as the Maverick, but apparently, let me take a look here back, see if I can find the name. It is the Xbox One S All Digital Edition. So that means it's the Xbox One SAD Edition, or Xbox One Sade.
Sade. There you go.
Smooth operator. You can call it a smooth operator. I guess that works. But yeah, supposedly it's going to be available for pre-order in April. I don't think that there's a release date yet, but maybe E3. Or no, shipping in May. Sorry. Pricing hasn't been available yet, but they said it's going to be around maybe $150, $200, which is reasonable. But keep in mind, it does not have a disk drive, which means you have to do everything digitally. I'd be fine with that, but I already have my X.
There's no reason to get this thing.
I've heard it's going to be like about as small as like an Amazon Echo. At least that's kind of like what I've been hearing.
Some of the renders make it look like it's barely bigger than the controller.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be like the classic NES edition all over. Because remember that system, like the controller was bigger than the system.
So they've clearly abandoned the Kinect. So there's definitely not going to be a Kinect port on this.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Are
the
they
Kinect.
going to have the dual
did.
HDMI's?
To do what?
Yeah.
They've kept the dual
S model.
HDMI on every version of the Xbox One to this point.
They have.
I don't know why, but they have.
I mean, just
In
for.
and out,
I mean,
just for your cable box.
I don't know. It depends on the size of the system. I mean, we've seen Classic NES Edition have like the plugins it needs, but I don't know if what changes they're going to make. I think with the Xbox One S SAD Edition, they're going to. That's seriously what it's called.
They need to change that, I think.
Yeah, they just.
I like Sade better. I feel like Sade is.
When you power it on, she starts singing and it's great. I don't know. Maybe the Xbox All-in-One.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know that because it's not really all in.
Because it's not all. Because that implies that you can do anything and everything that an Xbox ever did,
and
except for all of the Xboxes leading up to this point.
And it also needs that like singular name because that's part of the marketing. Like you don't want something that's like going to be like almost like a sentence unto itself.
No, David, Microsoft would never want to do anything that could be considered bad marketing.
I mean, in terms of like naming things. Yeah, I guess like it's kind of bad in either way. I guess like the Xbox One. So yeah.
At least it's not the Wii U.
Yeah, that was confusing.
I mean, I would take the Wii U over Xbox One X. Like that's just like no.
It's
like,
Xbox.
You just don't put those words together. Like I'm just not a fan of that.
Okay, what happens if like are they gonna have any kind of contingency to attach? I don't know, like I guess a USB Type C disk drive, like like.
You mean I don't know. I mean, they'll probably allow you to do like more than 1 terabyte. I mean, I don't see why that option would be different, but I don't know.
I'm looking at my HD DVD player, Mike, that you actually gave me, 360 HD DVD player. Can you connect that? And it's no, I'm kidding.
No, they don't work with the 360. I thought. So what are you gonna do? How many times are you gonna watch Maltz?
Well, but even that thing.
What do you want to hear, Robert?
You can use that as an external DVD
it's a good
drive.
It's a good movie
Because it's just USB.
I'm sure they'll figure out some sort of hookup because you want to take advantage of external drives. You want to take advantage of the HDMI. You want to take advantage of all those features. But obviously, they're going to make it shrunken down. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's ultimately just a streaming box that can also play games digitally, it's like that has some appeal.
I mean, Nintendo Switch is going to get Xbox games, and it's dinky.
Yeah. I tweeted earlier today about the fact that I'm projecting, but I mean, I guess I'm excited. Or people in general are excited about the whole remote play thing for Xbox and the xCloud. It's like. I thought about it like Sony is kind of doing all this now, but no one cares. And why is that? Is it because we assume that the infrastructure will be set up better via Microsoft? Because this is kind of what they do. They have the Azure, the cloud, all that kind of stuff going. Because you can do this stuff now. And one person chimed back, well, you can do this with Xbox. I'm like, no, you can't. It's local. You can do some networking trickery to do it outside of your home, but it's local. It's a local solution for streaming. It's not, you can't do it from anywhere, at least not now. So it just makes you wonder why we're so excited for something that we can actually do with a box that many of us actually also have. So
I mean, it's also like a little tricky too when you consider the online infrastructure in this country. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that we would like to think that we can do, but I don't think, like, at least in this country anyway, we could do very well, since we still have people who use 28.8K modems in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some people still use AOL.
Yeah.
To connect.
Well,
Yeah.
David, Robert, we have a system for those people. It's called the Xbox 360.
That was the PlayStation 3. Hold on, I thought it was the PlayStation 3. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when that whole thing went down. It was just like, oh my god,
That was
they
tough
are
to
shooting
watch.
themselves.
Like,
It was really tough
wow.
to watch. Yeah,
It's a case study in which you don't do. So we all learn what you don't do.
Yeah.
and
make a
I remember he
controller
ran
shitty
off
things.
to Zynga like after that, and I don't think he lasted too long in Zynga either.
Yeah, that is right.
Was it
No,
Don
I
Patrick,
saw-
I think his name was.
I saw a post not too long ago that said, "What is he up to these days?" And somebody responded, "I saw he had a post on what's the like looking for a job. What the hell?
Craigslist or something.
Like
or-
LinkedIn?
No, LinkedIn. Yeah, a LinkedIn profile
Mm.
where it's like he's unemployed but looking for work or something.
That
Hey,
is not.
Nintendo, give me a call.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I
no.
imagine he got like big paydays, like from.
Oh yeah.
I'm
from,
sure
like,
he's set up
Microsoft
for
and
life.
Zynga.
I'm sure he
nothing
gutted
to worry
Zynga
about.
Oh, that's
and
good.
walked away
Yeah.
like with a golden parachute.
Big time.
So
So I don't know why anyone would even consider hiring him. I don't know why he's even bothering to look for a job if that's kind of like what he's known for, and people like in that position know him for doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's unhireable now.
pretty much, I mean, much like who was that kid like who did the Dead Cells review for IGN?
Oh yeah, for IGN.
Oh, yeah.
Mnuchin.
Yeah.
That was bad.
hack.
Yeah.
And his explanation was even like, dude, just stop. Just stop talking.
Yeah.
Just
It was a
stop.
prototypical like fake like YouTube apology video, you know. It was just like very stereotypical, like by the numbers. Like,
I'm
heavy
sorry
five
you
before
feel the
start.
way you feel about what I may or may not have done.
right?
That's not
Like,
I
an
did
apology.
play the game. I just played it the same way as this other guy. What?
Right.
Exactly
Well,
the same.
It was all prefaced by like the heavy sigh, and then like not actually apologizing
Yep.
while making it sound like it is an apology, but it's really not.
People have mastered that crap.
Yeah.
It's just wow.
That's
I don't
nuts. All right. Apparently, the last blockbuster video on the entire planet in Bend, was it Bend, Indiana? I think is. Yeah, I don't know.
know. We must defend it.
At all costs.
The last stand.
We must. You understand? We lost the
like
one
a
in
moat around
Alaska
it,
for
you know.
God's sake.
I went to the one in Alaska, and I walked in there, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, how is this here?" They had two, both gone.
What year is it?
And then it's funny. I went home. Not like this is weird, but I went home. I'm from Buffalo, New York, so I went home for Thanksgiving, and it's a family video right outside Buffalo. I'm like, why is this here? And they had like a whole shelf full of like digital, like what do you call them? Like digital movies. I'm like, what are we doing here? It's just like, it was
we
big.
doing here?
It was almost
Really?
like this is
What are we
Blockbuster
doing?
without being Blockbuster. Like this
What
is a
is
video
happening?
store.
Well, it's what GameStop is doing now. If you think about it, like GameStop, does sell digital titles there
True.
too. So that's kind of like their last bastion as far as they're trying to hang on to what it is that they are. But that's not who they are. Who they
Yeah, I mean-
are is to gyp you from buying your games and then selling them at
Right.
like
'Cause-
high market.
Well, who they are? They're a storage bin for ThinkGeek stuff now. So,
That
Which is
is true
now,
too.
yeah.
How much did they spend on ThinkGeek? Because they like that was a horrible. It seems like I don't have any numbers.
It wasn't the best idea. For
Well,
them.
it gives them something to have. Otherwise, it's just, can you drop off your unwanted physical games and we'll sell you a code for an overpriced digital game?
like you
that
do.
is if they take in your physical games. Keep in
At
mind,
all,
some people
yeah.
want
But
a
that's-
90-day ban.
That's what GameStop is, but I guess at least they do have ThinkGeek under that umbrella to kind of turn to for extra revenue. But even then, like it's not really
all
extra
the stuff
revenue.
isn't selling. Yeah, all the stuff is just still sitting. I mean, there are some cool shirts, but they're priced at $25 each.
Not in the stores themselves, at least. No.
Right.
Well, I mean, their retro gaming thing has been immensely popular and well regarded.
And totally on the up and up.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You're killing me here, Aaron.
I know. It's just
You can trade in your copy of Earthbound, the original copy of, mind you, on the SNES, and trade it in for a belt that has a like a Wind Waker themed buckle that you can use to hang yourself later.
wow. Okay.
Hang on, is this after I trade in my PlayStation 2 library for?
Yeah, you just drive by and throw it at the door and continue on.
We will give you 4 bags of corn nuts. Nope, 3. We ate
3.
one.
It's on sale.
Yeah.
Not barbecue.
There are some good people I know that work at GameStop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like this.
And there are some amusing moments. There was a video. This dude was mad he could return Fallout 76, so he destroys the store.
Yeah, I saw
walks
that.
out, and the employee was just perfectly calm. Answers the phone call. GameStop, can I help you?
Yeah.
While the store is in rubble. Right. So.
And the guy was on camera, like they can see you. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you
I
doing?
hope he pays charges. I mean, that's just stupid. But I mean, sometimes I run into people that shouldn't be working at GameStop, but I do know some good people there that just do the best that they can with it, even though they don't. The corporate side doesn't seem to care.
No, they don't.
The corporate side's terrible.
It is very terrible. I mean, you cut off me from trading in stuff that you can sell and make more money on. Okay, have a nice day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're hanging on there, but it won't. Yeah, I don't know how long that's going to last.
It's probably going to be. I'll give it another year. Once the more digital stuff picks up, and once that Xbox Game Pass picks up on Switch, they're going to be sweating stuff.
Because nobody would buy them. They were trying to sell it, and nobody was like, no.
I mean, Amazon would have picked them up if they maybe had a lower price, maybe.
But for what though?
I don't know.
Like
I
was
will
it just
say,
a retail
Amazon
space?
stores. They could turn GameStop stores into Amazon.
Yeah, they could.
If they're able to last long enough, they'll probably get one final boost with a new hardware release, because that seemed to be like the last time they got like a major boost is when the PS4 and the Xbox launched basically side by side. So there was a lot of physical, like you can't digitally buy a console. You need to go,
Not with that attitude.
you walk into a store or buy it online. It's just like you got to buy it from somewhere.
Yeah,
So,
Amazon.
Online. You can buy it on Amazon.
Buy an
You really
accessory.
want it.
Yeah, Amazon delivers to your door. They also deliver chips, which is nice.
Yeah, and corn nuts if you're into that.
And
kind
corn nuts, yeah.
Yeah, because
All
they
the
ate my
same
bag.
package right there.
of in one box.
Yeah.
And they might
Amazon
buy your Zelda bill.
Oh man! All right, the last thing I was going to mention is you talked about it earlier. We first started the Labo VR kit that they announced out of nowhere. So my first question is, I'm thinking of PSVR having the warning that 12 and older to use it. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious. I mean, the screens on these things are what, like 720p, I guess.
Yeah, and you shouldn't hold like a switch up to your face. That's probably not, because like, what if you're playing it in bed and it falls and hits your face? It's like a self. And plus, I saw one of these attachments. It looks like a gun, but you put the gun on your face and you aim with your face.
It's like an elephant's trunk. The guy was like,
That was the one that threw me. It was just like, how does that? Are you saying you just bend the cardboard so this is just like tiny fragments of fibers holding it all together?
no, imagination holds it together. That's the glue.
Yeah.
It's for children, remember?
Along with the actual glue. That's the glue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But not only all this, like remember, like when the 3DS came out, Nintendo was like very careful about. They're like, nobody under the age of 6 should even play this.
Well, turn the 3D on and play it.
Right.
Maybe they were talking about Acclaim games. You don't know.
Right.
It's funny. Amazingly, I've stayed away from all the Labo stuff. I look at it and I think I would have a great time putting stuff together with the girls, but we won't do anything with it past that day. And I know that. But I'm not going to lie, the VR thing was kind of cool.
It is cool, but then
cool.
you remember Nintendo's last attempt at VR, the Virtual Boy, which came with free vomit out of your body. That's what it was.
Hey.
Maybe
Well,
they'll
it would
sell
be
some
great.
Virtual Boy games on.
That's worth its weight in bile.
So we can throw up all over again. A new generation will vomit into their trash cans. Passing of the torch.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they made. I mean, I know they made that vehicle kit thing. So I was surprised they had something new. Like, okay, we're still doing it. You're a toy company, you know.
It is neat, but you gotta wonder like how far they're gonna take it. Like, we didn't really get any more piano games.
You know why? Because you're supposed to make one, Robert. We're waiting on you. Make the game.
I'm sorry, I'm not a musician.
Only your imagination is the limit.
Imagination.
Imagination and I don't know, fast fingers, I guess. If I want to play like the Overture of 1812 or whatever.
You can if you want to.
But I don't want to.
That's your
quick clarify that. I'm busy enjoying actual games, thank you. Like Devil May Cry 5, thank you very little.
Well, you know what? Let's hear about some games.
Yes.
Robert, what have you been playing?
Well, I believe I just mentioned it. Devil May Cry 5. It is out tonight, but I've had it for a week now, and it is... you know, all these people that are talking about, multiplayer games are the future. Capcom just took a nice big dump on them and said, hey, you can have some of this because it's amazing. You basically play as Nero, but also Dante gets involved in the story. You got a new character named X who uses demon-style powers as well. Unfortunately, you don't get to pick your character with some of the episodes. I think with like 2 of them you do, but the rest it follows certain characters. But the storyline is bonkers. I don't want to spoil it, but fans are going to love the hell out of it. And I think some fans who got into like DMC Devil May Cry will also enjoy it, which is really cool. There's a nice little balance there. And then the gameplay is excellent. I absolutely love putting together these SSS combos, which Andy Lunique, he picked them. He's like, are they all SSS combos? Well, they are now. I had to work on it, but yes, they're all those super combos. And, slick gameplay. You can unlock different abilities from your little Winnebago that your tech girl.
So there's a Winnebago in this game? I have to buy it.
Yeah, with the Devil May Cry writing on the side. Didn't Collector's Edition?
Oh.
It's got the neon on the side. I did that, but I want a car that does that. Can I do that on my Ford Escape? I'm wondering.
Who's the developer?
Developer's Capcom.
That's Capcom's game.
This was an in-house joint?
Yeah.
No
See,
platinum?
what happened was
No.
This is all in-house, and they used the RE, which is the Resident Evil 2 engine, so it looks phenomenal.
So this is like the original Devil May Cry, where they intended it to be an RE game, and not intended, but that's interesting.
And the best part is they didn't take a crap over like DMC Devil May Cry. They acknowledged that game was a great entry in the series. Not every fan was like that, but I thought it's one of the best games in the series, so I'm glad that got the nod. But yeah, this goes back to the original style that we grew up with the Devil May Cry games, the original ones. So this definitely fits into that mold. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff you can unlock. Devil Hunter mode means serious business difficulty. It's wow. But I think what's stunning here is that we're only at mid-March. We're not even at mid-March yet. And we already have a number of Game of the Year contenders. And a couple of them are from Capcom. Like, this is literally they said true. Capcom is back. That one of the producer of the game actually did a video on Twitter. Capcom is back, or something like that.
All we need is Asura's Wrath, a remake or backward compatible, and I'm all set.
I'm telling you, give me a Maximo collection. Give me Cannon Spike. While we were talking about earlier,
I could definitely go for another Maximo.
Give me Power Stone collection. Boom.
Yeah, or a third.
HD, please. Yeah, there are so many things. They can even do like Marvel. Be like, we're sorry about Infinite. Here's the real edition of the game. Whatever. But there's so much potential, and it's only March, and we've gotten Resident Evil 2 from them, Devil May Cry 5, and we can't forget about Onimusha, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't the greatest quality. So yeah, Devil May Cry 5 is one of my favorite action games of the year so far. It is phenomenal. Whether it beats DMC Devil May Cry, I still have to weigh that out because I love that game. So I would say they're definitely close, but Devil May Cry 5 is a kick-ass game. If you're a fan of the series, if you're a fan of action games, I highly recommend.
Are those like your top 2 games of like the franchise? Or?
Yeah. I love Devil May Cry 3 as well. 4 kind of wore on me a little. 2 was, the first one was good, but I don't know.
There was the worst one by far. Yeah.
There was something about DMC and the way Ninja Theory put it together that I thought was really cool. It captured the vibe of Devil May Cry, but they did the gameplay in their own, special way. I've always been a fan of Ninja Theory and their stuff like Enslaved, and it's just been really well done. But, Devil May Cry 5, like I said, hunkers back to the original style, while at the same time, still paying tribute to that game in the series. So I think it's pretty well done. And then aside from that, I've also been playing this game called Remilore. Remilore is this unique game from Nicalis. It's like an isometric action game where you play as this cleaning girl of sorts who gets transported to another world by a magical book. And you basically fight through all these levels and you take on these monsters in an anime style. It gets a little repetitive, but it's fun. And, you can unlock new weapons. You can take on tougher bosses. You can play in co-op, which is kind of cool for the local thing on Switch, I thought. So, yeah, it's a good game. It's not a great game, but I still think it's good fun if you're into, like, anime stuff like that.
Okay. I think I've seen that, but I don't know much about it. But
yeah. And then I also mentioned Ape Out, but I think one of your buddies is about to talk about that. And then the last thing I'm playing is a game called Android Assault Cactus. It's a twin-stick shooter that just came out for the Nintendo Switch. And it's probably one of the best twin-stick shooters for the system. Because, either docked or undocked, it runs at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, it runs really well. And I play all the other versions, too. It runs well.
Yeah, it really does. It's fantastic. So, yeah.
Did you find that the first boss, I feel like, did they make it a little easier? Because I feel like the first boss was so tough. Even in co-op.
It depends on the character you choose, but I was able to beat the first boss easy. It's the other bosses that you run into that really stack
the
up
plant one always kills me. I never gotten past
the plant one, the one with the laser walls. Oh, he pissed me off.
But it's such a fluid game. Like, they really optimize that thing really well. It never hitches at all. It's just smooth ride.
Yeah, it's very cool. But yeah, that's what I'm playing.
All right. What? I guess Ape Out. I've been playing that as well. What disc are you on? I guess. Is it discs or tapes? I guess
like the levels.
Yeah.
Ape Out. Yeah.
Ape Out. Right now I'm still working on it. I'm at level 4, but this game is tough.
It does get tough.
It really is, but it's just so cool how you beat the out of everybody to a nice jazz tune that stays interactive with you. I'd be like, nothing calms me down like smooth jazz.
Yeah,
like when you throw an enemy.
Similarities to Hotline Miami in that sense. So.
True. Yeah, so the twitchiness of it.
Yeah.
Although when I watched the trailer, I always thought you could pick up as the soldiers with the vests have shotguns. I always thought you could make them shoot.
The explosive, you can, but I think it's only one shot, so you have to time it. I think, and then they have the explosive guys, and if you throw them into a nearby, you die.
Yeah, that happened to me too many times, but yeah, that's on me. That's a user error. So.
Way to go.
Blow everything up. Nah, that's good stuff. All right, cool.
But Ape Out's good stuff, but yeah, go ahead.
All right, now, David, what have you been playing?
So lately I've just been kind of playing a lot of Resident Evil 2 Remake. I kind of go back to it whenever I'm not playing games for review, because I actually do have that Kirby's the Kirby's Epic Yarn for 3DS game that's coming out, Extra Epic Yarn I think it's called. That's coming out tonight at midnight, so I got a code I have to do a review for tomorrow. But otherwise lately I've been playing Resident Evil 2 Remake. Absolutely amazing game, definitely my favorite game so far this year, very, very early on in the year. And I went through the Hunk campaign, which is kind of it's basically a speed run, more or less, where you play as this umbrella soldier that's armed to the teeth, and you're basically going through almost every single enemy that you come across in the regular game, and you're basically just doing a speed run through almost the entire map, more or less. So it's really intense. It's really, really tough. But it's a lot of fun. And after you get that, you unlock tofu mode, which is basically the same thing, but instead you play as the giant piece of tofu, and you're just armed with a bunch of knives, and you just have to try to get through and try to survive. Basically.
Do you ever watch the completionist videos?
Sometimes, yeah. I know Gerard personally, actually, because I always run into him at events, and it's kind of become an inside joke. It's dude, you're following me every time. So, but yeah, I'll sometimes see his videos. Yeah,
he did one for RE 2, and I thought it was just tofu, but apparently there's 4. It's a whole team of them. And they all have this slightly different with each one. So.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I mean, it is a lot. Yeah, it's really cool. With what they did as far as because obviously the original Resident Evil 2 had the 2-sided discs or whatever for for Leon A, Leon B, Claire, have Claire A, Claire B, then on top of that having the Hunk short mission, and then Tofu mission on top of that. So there's a lot of content there. And with what they did with the remake as far as still bringing back like the spirit of the original game, but making it still feel like fresh with like what they did with it, because it is a true remake in every sense of the word. It's like super, super well done, and I said this on the Arcast before, but I feel like this is like the gold standard for what video game remakes should be like in the future.
Yeah. Well, just a weird piece of trivia I was watching. Maybe it was one of those "Did you know" gaming videos where they said that the only reason it was on 2 discs was because they miscalculated how much space they would need for the audio.
Basically, it takes a lot of space, and that was back in the PS1 era. So so it's a lot of memory going on.
Things happen, so I thought that was interesting. I mean, if you can fit on one N64 cartridge, I'm looking at you right now. You can, that's a miracle.
But they compressed the hell out of it.
Yeah, they did. But it looks and plays pretty.
It was a great port. It was a really good port.
They did a great job. But if you take a close listen to the audio, it is.
Audio is kind of
yeah.
Well, other than that, I mean, it's a great game.
It played great, and like and since it was on like a cartridge, like there wasn't like much loading like at all, really. So it was it was really well done. Also, with how they handled that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Totally good stuff.
All right. Is that it for you?
That's it for me. Yeah.
And DDR.
You're a better man than me.
DDR. Yeah.
Mike.
So I put a little bit of time into Smash Ultimate.
That doesn't sound like you. But
no, not really. But I still want to unlock the stuff that I want to play. Which I can't do like immediately. You have to do it like as it comes to you, whatever. But I played the, I guess, Spirits mode, I guess is what it's called. And I still really don't understand what's happening most of the time. But at some point after about an hour or whatever, I was like, I think I'm enjoying something about some of this.
You're surprised?
Yeah, it was like, I don't... Like, there was, like, pretty much at the end of, I would say every other match, whether I won or lost, I would say, what just happened? I don't even know. Because it would be either I lost in a fashion where I'm like, you're at 180% and I'm at 30, but you just punched me into the sun and now you won. But I clobbered you after 100% like 6 times, and what? Or other times where it'd be just like, I walked up to Mega Man, he didn't move, I punched him once, the game ended, and it said you win. I'm like...
Welcome to Smash.
Huh?
Well, so in the Spirits mode, you do have different criteria as far as like how you beat enemies. So... That moment where you were talking about like fighting Mega Man, it was probably like in the stamina mode, where instead of like bringing up their percentage to smash them off like the side of the screen, it's more about like just bringing like their health down, just like a regular fighting game.
Right, and sometimes you could tell because it's like the numbers go down instead of going up.
Right, and it will also tell you before the match starts if it's a stamina battle.
Well,
there's that too.
Because it's constantly just being like, are you sure you want to fight? Because your spirit level isn't good enough or whatever.
Yeah, it tells me that a lot.
Most of the matches, I'm like, well, I guess I will anyway. And they're the easiest matches of the game, and sometimes they're impossible. It doesn't seem to mean anything, to me anyway.
It does, like, once you kind of get, like, enough spirits, like, where you can actually, like, strategically switch out certain spirits for certain situations. Like, that's basically, like, how it is. Basically, think of it like regular Smash Brothers, but with, like, a twist of, like...
You already lost me. I don't even know what that means. I've never played Smash. When you say, it's like regular Smash, but... I'm like, whoa.
You never played Smash?
You never played Smash Brothers?
I hate Smash. Everything about it.
But you know how it works, though, right?
Incredibly stupid.
You're playing Smash now.
You know how it works, though, right? You know how the game fundamentally works?
I know nothing. I just saw the Castlevania stuff, and I said, I want
I thought you played Smash before.
No.
I figured you play on the N64 Smash.
You're going to have to reconfigure the entire podcast.
No, my life.
Everything about
everything.
Smash.
Then why did you pick up this game?
Exactly.
That's all
I hate Smash. I hate Smash so goes.
Okay,
and
Mike, I'm
buys
going to
Smash.
recommend this book to you. You should get this book. I'm holding up the Smash Brothers
I
guide.
don't
So
want to
what I
know
mean
how to
by-
play. I
So
don't
what I
wanna
mean
know
by regular
anything.
Smash is that you're basically getting like their percentage of the percentage is basically like the amount of damage that they have taken.
Yeah.
And
Right.
once they have like enough damage taken, then they're more susceptible to be knocked out from the side of the
Okay,
screen.
hold on.
I get it in
I'm having a
general
weird...
sense.
Mike, I have complained about PlayStation's Battle Royale All-Stars many times, saying that they should have just completely copied Smash because there's no back and forth. So when I said that, you had no idea what I meant, right? That's what you're telling me now?
I get the general, like, the number goes up, the likelihood of you beating them is higher. Like,
Yes.
that, I
That's
get,
what that
but,
is. Yes,
But
that's
it's
Smash.
like, that's why
Right
I'm
on the
like,
nose. Yeah.
if I'm at
The more you
50% and you're at 180, how did you just kill me? I don't understand.
I mean,
Well, certain
if you fall off the
weapons-
stage, if
Oh, that
certain
I don't
weapons
understand
possibly.
either, because when I fall off, it's an instant death every time. I literally
That's
knocked that dude
how the game is.
That's how it
through
is.
the
Yeah.
top of the atmosphere of where we are, and he tactical barrel rolled 78,000 times and climbed back onto the stage. I'm like,
Okay, so let me
how
explain
is-
how
What?
let me explain how life works. Let's say you're on an airplane, right? And you fall off the airplane. Did you really expect to land safely after you fell off the airplane? Because that's
No.
not-
Why did I die? Like, how
but I
did this?
also expect
Why am
my
I
dead?
opponent to
Why am I
die,
not
and
in the
they
plane
never
is my
do.
question.
exactly.
Evil Knievel over here.
Can I have
Yeah.
peanuts and be in the plane?
Right.
That's preferred.
I'm gonna sit outside because it's cheaper.
That's the most frustrating part of the entire game to me, is that I saw my opponent fly so far away from the screen. They're not there anymore, but they crawled their way back to the
Well,
play
it depends on
field.
who they are. Like if they're if
No,
they're Little Mac,
every
they're gonna have a
opponent-
real rough time getting back. If they're
Every
Kirby,
single one,
Except you.
except me, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like,
So why?
I've
so
already had
this-
to revert to pushing
This
the
still
button
begs the
to
question.
jump.
This honestly, this still begs the question. Why did you buy Smash Ultimate?
Yeah.
it's the fan service.
Okay.
I don't want to play the game. I want to see all the stuff. I
You know they have a
love-
YouTube channel for that, right?
Go to YouTube
fair.
and just play Castlevania music if you're Castlevania.
Yeah.
Oh, I do it
Mike,
all the time. I've
Why
done
buy
it.
the game? Like if you don't
I
want to
don't-
play the game.
I'm confused. Like we've played Smash together during several
And I
extra life
hated every moment of
marathons. We've
Every
played it.
moment. But
Didn't you hear him
to-
groaning
to-
over
to
the
gen-
live feed?
To genuinely answer the question, it's not just that I want to see the fan service, which I can do any which way possible.
I want to be the fan
It was
service.
the controller. I wanted that stupid controller because it works better than the standard Pro controller.
Yep, and they got me too.
Yeah. I mean, the Pro Controller is the best way to go. I mean, you try to play with Joy-Cons, be like, what the hell?
No,
Well, but
that
it's
or
not
the
just
GameCube
that.
controller.
But
Use
the
the GameCube
regular, at
controller
least
as well,
my
Yeah, GameCube
standard
controller
Pro
works too.
controller, the D-pad
I just got one of
is
these,
garbage.
the adapter thing.
Hell.
Yeah,
That's,
they have
that's,
those
that's a whole
adapters now.
different.
It's the Wii side and it's the GameCube side.
See, I got one of them Smash Pro controllers, so I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
Okay,
like the
so-
controller, and I got
But
it at a
you
nice
just don't
discount
like-
because of my
You just don't
GCU.
you just don't like falling into empty abysses.
I just don't like the game. I want to play.
I really thought you understood what
I don't
Smash
like the game, that's
was.
why I
I
bought
don't
it.
care.
That's why, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like why we would buy a game that like, or you're not going to
Gosh.
like. Even with the fan service, I just don't see where the
Because you have to
value
play
is
a
in
lot
that.
of it
That's
to
like
get
saying,
to that
no,
fan
no, no,
service.
Sucks and spending $900 on
Value is a
pants.
totally different.
Only like shorts.
Just
Yeah.
watch
Spend
YouTube
money
videos
on
of people
stuff.
playing Smash. Then
all the time. That's not worth it. Yeah.
It's like, I don't like Melanie Griffith's movie. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy 19 copies of Working Girl. Okay?
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you
like something,
probably
I move on
should
to something I
anyway.
do
some,
like.
I mean, some people like to hate watch movies. I guess you like to hate buy games. I guess.
No,
Yeah, really.
I mean, it's.
Oh, God. Devil May Cry 5. I can't stand
But Mike, I mean, to be honest, like I feel like we talked about Smash several iterations.
Sure.
Didn't you play with us when the Wii U Online was going away? Didn't we
No,
all
'cause I
play?
didn't own it. I didn't know. This is the first Smash. Well,
Really?
I actually owned it for the Wii U because it was so cheap. I felt like I might as well buy it because it'll probably be worth something someday.
Even though
You'll
you
be
hate
losing
And
money
I've
if
never
you
opened
didn't.
that.
I hate this game, so let me go buy it.
I just figured
So-
you had played Smash before.
No, this is the first Smash I've ever
Wow.
played in my own house.
no,
And hate it, by the
no,
way.
no. We played it during the marathon. and you hated it. Yeah, I guess it checks out.
Yeah, but I already owned it at that point.
Yeah, we did. We're all old men, so we just sat there like, this is going so
I
fast.
don't know about you. I'm in my 20s.
No, but when there's that many people on screen, it's so small. I can't even tell what's going on.
I don't like it when it's like past 4 players.
Yeah, they were just
we were playing
colors.
6 people.
Yeah.
It was like, which ant am I? I don't know.
You're
The
the
one
ant
on the
with
left.
player 7 above it, obviously.
No, you're the ant falling to its death in the abyss.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there he goes.
There it is.
Where am I? Player
was just
7
like,
has been eliminated.
Am I
Fell off
still
the
on
plane again.
playfield? I don't know. But anyway, let me go back to what I said at the very beginning of all this. At some point in this, I thought I was enjoying at least a moment or two of it,
And then not.
and then I stopped and I got back to it. Like that's when I actually realized that I was enjoying some of it, because when I put it down, because I had something else I needed to do, and I came back the next day, I was like, I actually feel like I want to play some more of this game. And then when I did, I hated every second of it.
Hold on. Now, let me see if I got this
Doesn't
right.
make any sense.
You love the game when you don't play it?
I mean, this sounds like fake
No,
news.
I
to
never
me.
said love. I never said love. I just
This
said
is the
I felt
complete
like I
way-
wanted to play more of it.
Okay, this is not how video games work. You play the video games and have fun while playing the video games, and not have fun thinking about the video games when you're not playing them.
Not this game.
Okay, you need
Not
help.
for me.
Seek help.
Stop
Stop it. As Michael Jordan once said, stop it. Get some help.
What's wrong with you? Stop it.
I had no idea you had this relationship with Smash. And we've been friends for many years.
This should be on a panel at PAX.
Like,
He's like,
this
why
is-
I hated Smash Brothers and bought it anyway. Just
Well,
do it.
But I think only I would understand it. That's the biggest problem. I can't convey it.
I
to
bought
anyone.
multiple Dark Souls games and hated them, but that's a whole nother thing.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's completely fine that that if you don't like Smash, it's not your thing. That's completely fine. I know other people who are like that. I just don't understand why you would pay money to buy the game that you in your heart of hearts you do not like.
But
I just don't understand
I don't know that that's really fair, because I really never.
It is completely
I
fair.
never
It is
played much of
absolutely
the
fair.
game
Unless
in
you
the
have that
first
much
place.
income.
I didn't know the game very well leading into this.
See, I want to
How
judge,
can I say
but
I
I'm
hate
looking
it?
at my shelf.
didn't-
I
But
probably
you said
shouldn't
you
judge.
hated the franchise before you even bought Smash Ultimates. I just don't.
I just say I've never enjoyed any moment I've ever played of the game.
Then what
But I've
prompted
played
you?
very little of
Alright.
any of them. I've never played it on N64.
I
That is
I've never played the
shocking.
Wii game.
That is absolutely
I've
shocking.
never played the
You know
Wii
what?
game. Only Melee have I ever played, and I
game.
thought
That's a
it
great
was-
game.
And you hated it too, didn't you? Yeah. See, I just bought a bunch of pancake peeps, and I'm probably going to hate those.
Yeah.
Wow. That
All right. I
I'm
mean,
sorry to talk over
I
people,
I guess
but
the fan service was just like that strong for you to plunk down.
there is a
60.
lot of it
It
though.
is.
To be fair,
it's like the amount of stuff that Nintendo crammed into this game is absolutely unbelievable.
it
Yeah.
is. And the soundtrack,
It's a love letter to gaming in general.
Yeah, seriously, it's amazing, and there's still content coming. But, I mean, other games have content that's stacked up as well, but I don't see you shelling out cash for those.
It's, well,
The fan
it's
service has
Nintendo.
limited
Yeah.
into them.
I think the Castlevania stuff really is what got you.
Oh,
like
I mean,
you
the
said.
They did a great
tracks,
job
the
with
number of
Castlevania.
tracks for the music, and I've listened to all of them, and I'm not saying every Castlevania has to have a like a thrash metal version of it, because I don't think every track is benefited by that. But a lot of the tracks, the version in Smash, are really good versions of some of those classic Castlevania tunes.
Mhm.
So I appreciate it. Like, I kind of wish there was a little bit more variety in the style of some of them, as I say. But they're good, and I like listening to the tracks, and I feel like the upcoming Belmont amiibos are the first sets of amiibos that I'm actually interested in buying, just for the statue aspect of them.
You are a big
Even though you're gonna
Castlevania
Like, I don't
fan.
care what they do in the game. I don't care about any of that. I'm just like, if Konami is willing to let their franchises be handled by somebody that gives a damn,
Yeah, unlike them.
I am willing to give a few dollars in that direction.
Well, Mega Man fans felt the same way too with the way that Mega Man was handled in the prior Smash. So yeah,
Yeah, but but Capcom's finally like doing something worthwhile.
finally, yeah, they finally got their together. So maybe, who knows, Konami will also get together and come out with a good Castlevania game that we haven't seen in a long while.
Well, they are working on that reported arcade collection, so that might be a step in the right direction.
Well, I mean, like,
as
like,
long
like
as
a
it
new
has
game,
Sunset
yeah.
Riders, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, Sunset Riders is going to stay a part of, what was that thing? Game Room.
Yeah, and they canceled it right before it was supposed to come out.
Which
so I'm
really
saying
stinks.
we really need Sunset Riders.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody says they hate Sunset Riders, they're going down.
I mean, you
you
say
could
it
be
really
like me and
stinks,
set
but
Sunset Riders to your SNES Classic, though.
if you
Very
owned a
new
copy of Sunset Riders for Game Room right now, come on, man, you're not playing that version. There's
No,
way.
it didn't come out for Game Room. They
No,
canceled
but if it had,
I would totally be playing it.
right now,
Instead of doing this podcast? Yes.
I'd be playing it while doing the podcast. I can do two things at once.
He's that
I have
talented.
this thing called Focus.
no, I mean yeah. Obviously, the actual arcade version has never been released, but I've got my
Super Nintendo version was close.
You could get the arcade version. But anyway.
Well, no, you can play.
Get the arcade version. That's not hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand. It's not released officially.
Just don't hate on Sunset Riders, or else.
No, I like
it.
Like, I have my Genesis copy.
Okay,
Sunset
good.
Riders,
I'm
and
sorry.
I like that.
I don't
He's
have
not
it,
hating
but I've
it.
played it. But I don't own it, but I've played it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mike, have you been playing anything else?
Yes. All right. Just to quickly glaze over the rest of this stuff, I bought the Donkey Kong arcade version on Switch.
Oh, yeah. It's a good pickup.
Just
It is.
because.
Are you hoping they're going to make a documentary about you?
No, not about me.
Okay.
Maybe about that Switch version.
About your
Sultan
evil
of
neighbor,
Smash.
Billy?
All about Mike.
I do like that they gave you options to kind of like mess with the audio, because I think in handheld mode the footsteps of Mario are way too loud. It's just something you can screw around with, but
I've
like
heard
in
people
dock
complain
mode
about
it's
that,
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
He's
just-
got loud shoes.
Yeah, it's just an oddity to the way it's mixed, but
Steel
it's good.
toe,
And I
steel
like
soul.
the caravan mode they call it, where it's just like score as much as you can in 5 minutes.
Or you
Like,
can turn
I
the
feel like-
screen on its side if you got the handheld.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's cool too. I like that they.
I have
that as
two
an
of those flip things, and I've never taken them out of the box.
Oh, the flip grip, I think
Yep.
that's what it's called.
You're supposed to throw them at your Switch.
Oh, let me do that then.
Yeah. So that I played around with that. Obviously, I'm never gonna get in the top like 100 of like any of the scores, but
I'm not with that attitude.
it's good. Yeah, exactly.
You got to
It's
dream
good-
big. That's how it worked with Tetris 99.
It's good.
Yeah,
to
that's right. I
practice.
was gonna say, like, maybe you did better in Tetris 99 then, in that case.
No, I don't even want to mention
I
that.
peaked at 17, and it's all been.
I think I got 8th. So I'm
Hey, all right,
I've
top 10.
I've gotten second 3 times, never gotten the first, but I just come so close, since it's very infuriating.
That's heartbreaking,
Last-
man. I've always
last
rather just
time
get
I
17. Like,
I thought I was doing fantastic. Like I was just like, oh, this is one of the best games of Tetris I ever had. And then all of a sudden, the entire thing filled up with gray, and I was just like, oh, I think, well, at least I had a good number, and it was like I was 60th.
Now
No.
he hates it. Now he hates
Yeah.
it.
Well,
I mean-
I don't like it anyway, because I
Wow.
mentioned to folks already, that's not the kind of Tetris I want to play. Tetris is supposed to be a fun, relaxing, time
so
wasting.
you're
not
more of a
relaxing at
Tetris
all.
effect
Not
kind
a-
of guy.
I keep falling off the stage and I can't even know how to
Exactly. I don't know how to tactical roll my Tetraminos back onto the board.
You gotta get those
It's called-
T-spins in place.
do it. Yeah, it's called Get Good, son.
Yeah,
I think there's a YouTube tutorial on that.
several.
Yeah. But yeah, Tetris 99 is a lot of fun. I actually recently got like the year-long thing from my Nintendo Switch Online, because I was going by like the my 7-day week trial to play Tetris 99, and I just had that much fun with it. And I figure with Super Mario Maker 2 that's also coming out, that'll also be another reason to have the online component for
And Smash.
I mean, like honestly, like the online Smash Ultimate is
Not.
terrible.
yeah.
El terrible, if you will. So, do not like online Smash at all.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Just say it's terrible.
Les enfants terribles.
This is El Soquino.
Yeah, but
Hey,
Super
like-
Mario Maker 2 looks like it's going to be like a lot of fun, especially
Yeah,
since
it does.
I didn't have Wii U and
We have hills.
play around with. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to kind of play around with Mario Maker when it was on Wii U, but I didn't have a Wii U, so I just didn't play with it. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, no, I am too. I mean that is a game that I'm interested in playing the levels that other people will create. I will not create
I'm not
anything in
making
that game.
anything.
I can't.
I am going to make some real hard levels. I'm going to
Even
make
David
you
won't
play
be able
them.
to beat them. Yeah, David will be like, son of a, I'm too good. No.
Yeah. Well, you have to be able to beat the level in order to actually upload.
Yeah,
it.
you
That's
do.
the
Yeah.
rule.
Mm.
Right, somebody has to do it. That's true. It's not going to be me.
Which
Well,
is pass it to
It'll just
Gerard,
be
and
all
then he'll beat
slow.
it.
It'll be all
That's right,
slow.
yeah. Well, that's what I know that's what like Ross from like Game Grumps does. Like he like makes like these stupidly hard levels, and then he has like Gerard like play them because he's apparently stupidly good at Mario in general. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
looking forward to
interested.
it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna have an online community 3DS version.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. So looking forward to that.
Yep.
But that Link's Awakening remake, though, that looks really good. And honestly, I just really, really hope it's not just like a paint by numbers, scene by scene like remake of the original game. I would like to see them actually do something different, much like how Capcom did with Resident Evil 2. If they do that, I think that'll be worth picking up.
I think they'll do a good job with it based on what we've seen in the video footage so far. Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I hope, but I mean, even if it's exactly the same, it's been so long since I played that original game. It's all gonna feel new to me anyway.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's just a personal,
Mhm.
situation.
It looks like we have Tiny in the.
Yeah,
Tiny,
looks
join
like he
us.
finally got back from Captain Marvel.
I mean, the movie's been out for 3 hours, so I can spoil it now, right?
Nope,
No.
you cannot.
Oh, if you
No.
haven't seen it by now, you just don't want to play
No.
it.
That's the rule time frame. Yes.
Oh, what's going on?
Going good. Going good.
Mike was just going over the games he was playing.
Yeah. And hates.
And hates.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, pretty
Games
much.
they
Pretty
hate
much.
But he
guys.
still paid full
Garbage.
price anyway, just because.
No, I didn't pay full price. That's the whole point. I got my
Yeah.
nice DCU discount, including the controller and everything. So I was actually losing money if I didn't buy all of it.
That's exactly how that works.
I know. Yeah, I know that excuse.
Yeah. Well, I might as well get an Xbox One X system and a TV and some popcorn and yeah.
I mean, now that I got the One X, I need to go get a 4K TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just a waste then.
You can
makes
just take the
sense.
alligator
I'd be
clip
losing
right
money
to the
otherwise if I
nipples
didn't
and
get this 4K
electrocute
TV.
yourself.
That's how it works. That's
Huh.
exactly how it works.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mike, is that it for you?
It might as well be because the other stuff was just who cares.
He hates it. Whatever.
I was gonna ask, like, if you paid someone for Apex, you should probably get your money back.
No, I did not.
But he wanted shorts.
Zero money. Hey, but here's another hot take. Apex is a worthless game.
Oh wow.
Or you just
okay.
suck at
I
it.
mean, that is a hot take. I don't know if I
And I say
necessarily
worthless
agree with it.
because
It's
costs
hot. I don't-
Nothing.
yeah.
So why would you pay for it?
I mean, you don't have to. It's a free-to-play game. So.
yeah.
Exactly.
What choice do you have?
Exactly. But I will say my favorite part about Apex is the character animations before the game starts and the music when you're dropping. After that, the game is total trash.
I mean, I would say like the ping system. Honestly, the ping system
No,
is
that's
Right.
worthless.
by far like the best thing that game has ever.
I
come
hate
out.
Yeah, the
every
ping rate
second
is
of
really
it.
good. Well, that's because you hate everything. So
That's right. That's right. That is who I
We've
am.
learned-
Becoming.
I hate it, so it's good, right? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's got the official hate seal of approval.
Yeah. That's like the one
Disapproval.
thing I wish that like
Disapproval.
Overwatch would like honestly integrate, like have like a ping system of some sort.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what Fortnite already took inspiration and integrated one. So
Did they? Yeah.
Still kind of working on it though.
yeah, but I mean, they've already they have it up. They have a version of it up now, and it's rumored that they're bringing in the spawn system, like the hey, get your tag and bring it to a.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, that whole thing. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's
Whatever
funny that
keeps
they're
the
like
money
already
flowing.
trying to eat that whole system from like from like the hottest kid in town right now. So
Don't do anything that stops the flow of money. That's what it's all about.
don't do what Donnie don't does.
They could have been more clear with that. All right, Tony, what have you been playing?
So I got a lot of Game Boy Advance games.
Oh, okay. Which ones?
There's about 150.
Oh, okay. Well, which ones are your favorites?
The ones I've tried playing so far.
Mhm.
Ghost Rider, based on the Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, that one. Oh,
I've
yeah.
never heard that one before.
It's like
the God of War kind of game.
It
right?
is. It is a God of War clone, but 2D. So like, think of like the God of War phone games.
Well, the PS2 one is a God of War clone kind of thing, but in 3D.
But in 3D, right? Batman: Rise of Shinzu.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be like a really good game.
Oh, Shinzu, the Batman one. Yeah, that's
that was the 4-player beat 'em up on consoles, and then on Game Boy, it's like an action platformer.
Mm.
But like it's really nice. Like Batman's really well animated in it. Like I was very surprised. Van Helsing, which is not very good, but another action.
The movie wasn't good either.
And then I tried one of the James Bond games, but the first-person shooter one. So is that Everything or Nothing, or is that Nightfire?
Something like that. Yeah, Nightfire.
Nightfire. So
have you played the James Bond game that was on the regular Game Boy?
Oh God, like original.
Yeah, it's like a top-down, like I don't know, almost like a Zelda, I guess, like style, like kind of like adventure game, but you're playing as James Bond.
I did not, but I will.
Was that
pretty
based
cool
on one of the movies?
No, I think it's just like its own thing.
I was gonna think
like
because
based
I'm
on
thinking.
James Bond. So what's that?
I'm thinking of the Genesis game was The Duel, which wasn't based on anything.
No, it was just they featured Timothy Dalton on the cover, but it wasn't really based on anything. But
Right.
no, the game he's talking about is James Bond 007.
Mhm.
Okay. So I will.
Yeah,
Maybe,
check it out.
maybe I will have to look that up. But so I've been playing around with that, and that's made me want to like, I should get like a Game Boy Advance, and when I'm traveling next week, I don't know, have a Game Boy Advance with me, like a nice Game Boy. Like I have a one of the SPs that the Famicom or the NES Famicom one, but like I've noticed in both this and I've been playing some DS, the batteries are garbage.
Yeah.
Like
Garbaggio.
I brought my so I'm playing Pokemon White 2 version 2 on DS.
Cool.
I brought it with me to the movie theater. I just took it out of my pocket when I got home.
To the movie theater?
Like, well, because we were going to be sitting like before the previews and whatnot. Even though it's reserved seating, my buddy still insists we get there early. I'm like, we have seats.
I was just thinking you could converse with your buddy.
First world problems.
With people, what kind of mess?
Just a thought.
So
how are you doing?
Okay, time out for a sec. My friend, the friend that I was there with at that point, is also the friend I work all day with.
So why even go to the movies with him?
So why even buy Smash Ultimate?
Exactly. It comes all full circle.
So I had it. So like, if I had, and I pulled it out of my pocket when I got home, 40 minutes ago or so, and it's dead. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was charging all day. Like, yeah. So I went to check Nintendo's like replacement site, and they sell DS Lite batteries, but not DSi batteries. So I'm gonna have to go find a third-party one.
Oh, I thought you said it was an SP.
Well, I have an SP as well, but Pokemon Black and White and then Black and White version 2 are DS games.
Oh, gotcha.
So
okay.
Been doing any like Nuzlocke with those or?
Oh, none. I don't even remember how I got these. So I was like, oh, I haven't played this in a while. And then with the announcement of the Pokemon Direct and whatnot, I'm like, I'll play through a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
That's always fun. And then the last thing, I also have the SNES Classic now up in my room because I got a TV in my bedroom for the first time since, I don't know, college. And I was like, oh, let me go throw that. So like, I played some Shadowrun on the NES, on the Super NES. And
simply because that was included directly
from
Nintendo.
Of course. Yeah. That was always on there with the other 100 and something games.
This is the European version that you got there, right?
Right, exactly. The Australian SNES. No.
Good day. It's my game system.
It's all on the up and up.
So yeah, it's everything's kosher. But like, I'd forgotten how. I remember playing that on Genesis, and I forgot how different those. Like they're
completely whole nother experience.
So
they're both worth getting though, for sure.
It's an entirely different type of flying.
So I mean, aside from that, those are really like it's all been. I realized I haven't been down actually, so I'm in my basement where all like the main game stuff is. I haven't been down here pretty much all week to play anything, or like I've just been like, yeah, I'll play some Pokemon or whatever. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and like with the announcement of the traditional Pokemon coming later in the year, like yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they had that direct, yeah.
Yep.
But aside from that, those are probably the highlights that.
I thought you were going to keep talking because I'm still trying to set up the adjustment to the stream.
aside from that, I also stretched for time. I mean, I didn't talk about this earlier. I've been watching a lot of dumb people talk about things on the internet, and it just annoys me. But I don't know why I keep watching it. So I don't know. Welcome to the internet. But I also started watching Japanese vending machine videos. So, like, it's a real mixed bag of what I'm doing right now.
Are these like the panty machines, basically, that you're looking
No, like, it's all like, this one makes a pizza. Or
that's pretty cool.
You get ramen out of. Or this one, you get, like, a grilled cheese sandwich.
There's, like, the canned coffee and all that stuff, too.
Yeah, and it's like...
Wait, you can get a grilled cheese sandwich out of a vending machine? I've been doing it wrong my whole life.
Same
Wow.
Like, grilled cheese...
That's if you want a much shorter life there, Robert. So.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe it's good.
So the interesting thing is...
Maybe it's good. It's good.
So the interesting thing about this is, like, since these are... Like, it's not long-term vending machines. Like, they're refilled, like, 3 times a day, it seems, from what you see. So, like, this is just a person that's... Whoever owns it or is contracting out essentially has, like, a company that makes, like, oh, hey, we made 3 dozen grilled cheese sandwiches, or the components, put them in these aluminum foil. It goes through the heating element to grill them, and then pops out the bottom. But, like, the longest food's in there for is like 4 hours. So like it's not like preserved in like this really heavy package stuff where you would think
days up on end. Yeah.
Right. Like it's always refreshed. It's always now. On the other hand, the guy in one of the videos like pointed out like, oh, there's the truck that they leave idling all day with the refrigeration. Which I'm kind of wondering how efficient that really is in this whole system. But okay.
Yeah. This seems like something that would have been like happening in the 90s. Been like let go after a few years, you know.
Well, that's the thing. The guy comments in one of them. I keep watching. He's like, these machines are 40 years old, like, and it's just the people come like they're in industrial areas and like, cool. You get your lunch break. You go here. You put in 300 yen. You get a bowl of ramen, and like the meat is good. The most of the times they say like the noodle / the broth is kind of bland. They might have egg. It might be tempura. Like it depends on what it is. It's like, okay, like this is just a convenience to have in that place. So,
I mean, is this like the sort of thing that you would really only see like in small towns, not necessarily in the big cities, or
these ones? Yes, in the big cities. The way this all started was I saw a pizza making machine. I was like, okay, I want to see, because like in my head I was thinking it was like I've seen. One year I went out to CES and they had like an actual like, hey, here's a machine that actually makes the pizza. Right. And, like, it would do the dough and blah, blah, blah. And, like, you could see that on the video screen. Really, this one is, they're all just, like, DiGiorno's pizzas in a box, and it just heats it up and spits out the box. But, like, that's...
Shard box. There you go.
Yeah. Well, so the box is interesting because it looks like a traditional pizza box, except for in the center, there's a aluminum circle, and that there's a matching one on the bottom, and that's what the heating element heats, so that you can cook the pizza in theory. So, or another one that like served cakes. I was like, okay, this is much better than listening to people tell me how a lot of dumb stuff about part of it about Captain Marvel before the movie came out. So I'm like, this is so much better than the rest of the YouTube content I'm consuming right now. Let's keep with that.
This is also the logical progression to the MRE eating videos that you introduced us to in December.
Steve 1989 is an American hero.
He really is.
Like I sent you guys his latest video when it came out. This guy eats like MREs, and some of them are relatively new, and then others of them are like, here's one from World War II, and the man,
and he eats them. I mean, he eats the food.
him, Keith Richards, and the cockroaches will be alive after the Great War, because if this stuff hasn't killed this guy, nothing will.
Yeah.
So, but we go down weird. I go down weird YouTube rabbit holes.
Yes, you do.
Where it's like, I'm gonna watch this for a while. I was watching something else, but it's on YouTube, so it's like relatively safe. Yeah. But anyway,
you're kind of paint by the numbers, really, as far as like the Marvel movies are concerned.
Pretty. I mean, it's without talking about going into any detail. There's some stuff in Captain Marvel that really, if you're familiar with Marvel Comics, it'll be weird because they are taking a different direction for some of the space races that are introduced in this movie. And now the weird thing is that, like, we talk about, I can talk about the Kree, blue people, but the Kree have been in Guardians of the Galaxy, and they've been a major player in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show. So, like, this isn't even the introduction of the Kree. And, like, I don't understand, like, why people are like, oh, that's weird, because, like, reading comics, there was a lot there. So, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Like, it was a lot of fun. When we got out, my friends had some questions about, like, some specific stuff, because, like, there are characters you see that show up in other movies. And I'm like, yeah, we can have that talk, but they even kind of explain away why Captain Marvel hasn't been around for the other events that have been happening.
Yeah, pretty good explanation when I see it on Saturday. They better really.
It'll
have to
be
make sense to me.
It'll be a good one. It'll be one that will make sense, and you just always have to keep in mind with all the Marvel movies, how much of the threat is actually on Earth is always a discussion, because, like, people ask, like, why didn't the Avengers show up for the second Thor movie? But you have to remember, only 20 minutes of that, like, whole movie actually takes place on Earth.
True.
So, like, when are you going to be like, hey, Tony Stark, why don't you come over to the UK? Or, hey, Captain America, I hear you're a fugitive. Come hang out in Britain with us. Like, because most of the time he's not here. How does he communicate with them? But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's the top, but it is. I think it's actually a lot more fun of an origin story than some of the other ones are, because it's not the Tony Stark or Doctor Strange, like, oh, hey, you have these powerful people that we then need to break down so we can rebuild them. Because, like, they've done that now 3 times.
They have. Like, they have done that.
Like, if they keep doing it, it's like, cool, I guess the Marvel, how I become a superhero is my parents need to go walk down Crime Alley. So it's just like, so it's a different take there. And they hint at some other superheroes that, like, there's the wink and the nod and all the 90s stuff. Like, the music was really good. Like, if you enjoy 90s music, which I think all of us on the podcast were alive for. So
last I checked, I was alive in the 90s.
There will be yeah. There's I mean, and they do a great job with a lot of their movies with that. So we'll see. I think they'll be, by the end of the weekend. I'm imagining it'll be a much more positive reception. The angry nerd stuff that I've been watching, where it's like, oh, I can't believe they're pushing Captain Marvel. Like, they've canceled her series 3 times in the last 10 years. And I'm like, cool, they've canceled X-Men 10, but you have no problem with that.
Well, I mean, like, the stuff I've been, like, hearing, honestly, is, like, people being, like, angry that was, like, the lead actress, like, saying, like, how she wants, like, more people of color and, like, basically non-white straight men, whatever, to, like, be a part of her movie or something. And they kind of, like, take that, you know, as a lot of the internet people does, like, they just take it as a slight.
It's like, and the weird thing is, so, like, I went and watched some of that stuff, or read her comments, and the comments are like, hey, I want more outlets, more diverse outlets included in the press junkets.
Right.
And, like, hey, here's the data to back this up. And apparently that translates to, I don't like white guys. Which I don't understand. I feel like you have to do a lot of
leaps of logic are always there.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to see a superhero movie starring a white man. I can't think of any.
It's crazy.
Remember that thing a few months back when people were complaining that she didn't smile enough?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you see the Punisher smile or something.
Oh, did you see that thing on Twitter where, like, a woman who, like, writes the Punisher? Somebody was, like, questioning her about it. She took a picture of the comics that she wrote with her name on them. And the guy is still like, you don't know anything about comic books. I wrote these.
And that's,
Do you not see the writer's signature on the page?
And that's the weird thing, like, because they also, like, some people, and, like, there's some legitimate criticism about, like, they don't explain her powers in super detail. But I've been rewatching a lot of the Marvel movies, and outside of Tony Stark, they don't explain anyone's powers. And no one's like, here's what Thor can do, because, like, we still haven't seen Thor actually summon, like, a storm.
He's the god of hammers.
He's the god of
He's
thunder.
summoned one of the Avengers from the top of the building.
Yeah. And also Captain America, at least, like,
down.
right.
But you've never seen, like, he in the comics, like, he can do gale force winds, he can do full, like, and
Well, that's in the
these are
comics,
powers,
so
and these,
it's
right?
like a different
there's-
take entirely, you know?
And that's it. Like, how do you quantify? And even because there is origins of Shield stuff here, like early Shield stuff. Like, yeah, they're not quantifying this in that way yet, because this is kind of part of what facilitates why the other stuff you see in the past movies had to take place, because this is all taking. The only thing that's happened in the Marvel universe before this is what Captain America 1. In theory, if you go by movie timelines, like,
yeah,
none of the other
exactly. Yeah,
movies-
like with World War II and all that stuff. But
Right.
even with that movie, though, I mean, they did explain Captain America like going through the super soldier program, getting the serum in him, and all that stuff. You know,
right? But they don't. For example, then he gets put as a prop to sell bonds,
right?
And like he only gets to do his stuff when he goes AWOL, and goes and does his own thing, because they don't look at him as a weapon. As a powered soldier to use, they use him as a propaganda.
I could be wrong, but like I thought they used them as like a weapon as well as being like a symbol and like, you know, and like as like propaganda as well.
If you remember, it's Bucky's unit gets stuck behind enemy lines.
Right.
He goes AWOL to go rescue them. He has no approval. That's why they take Howard Stark's plane.
Okay. It's been a while since I saw that.
I
first
don't
movie,
remember
so.
all the detail.
And I rewatched it because I also rewatched Iron Man 2 recently, which is a much better movie than I think a lot of people give it credit for.
It's a great movie. I love that first Iron Man. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean 2. Like the second
2?
one. Yeah. If
2 was okay. It was all right.
Dustin
You
Hammer's
and
a
I
fun-
are in different planes then.
I think 3 is the one that a lot of people pick on more than 2.
3 was
It
terrible.
But we're gonna go down a
3
rabbit
is-
hole there.
2 is the worst movie than 3, but 3 was not good either.
Oh, see,
2 is dumber
would
than
encourage
3,
you-
but it's a
I would
simple
encourage-
revenge. I'm mad I was on
yeah,
the
I
roof.
guess-
You know, like,
I would encourage rewatching 2, and you might still have those feelings, but like in 2, Justin Hammer is a great like just corporate villain, and you have him doing his like Sam Rockwell doing his greatest impression of like I'm a skeezy businessman.
I like
And
Sam
then-
Rockwell, but
Yeah, he's a
like
good actor.
that villain is a very paint by numbers.
yeah.
You see in every
Yeah.
type of movie that has a corporate villain.
I mean, yeah, he's literally the RoboCop villain.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also like
Like-
War Machine gets introduced there.
Like which RoboCop? Original RoboCop or like remake RoboCop?
I was thinking original RoboCop. Like
Yeah, I was thinking
he's
that
just
too.
evil corporate guy. Like he's
Yeah.
he's
Are
like,
you comparing Justin Hammer to Dick Jones? I don't think you
See-
can do that. Okay.
Let's put it. Let's
I'm
put it
sure
this
it's
way.
just a glitch.
I
Let's
mean,
put it this way. I couldn't remember what his name was. So
It works for Dick Jones.
Come
baby.
on,
I mean,
Dick
runs
Jones
OCP.
and Justin
OCP.
Hammer in a movie?
I think.
I mean, not comparing their like acting ability, but just more of like that's just like the type of character that they play as, and that type of character is in like almost every movie.
They care about more their money and bottom line rather
Yes.
than
Right.
the safety of somebody that gets twisted around us.
Right.
Right, like when the pilot, or like he's like, oh, this is my piece de resistance, and he's telling him about the kinetic whatever thing, and then Rhodey tries to use it against Whiplash, and it just fizzles out when he hits him.
You mean the Crimson Dynamo?
No, he wouldn't have been the Crimson Dynamo.
Well, he was a mix of the two characters. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, okay,
He
Or
was.
he was an armored Whiplash, but I mean,
Well-
we could say it was the Crimson Dynamo, and with none of the backstory of the Crimson Dynamo.
He was still a combination of both characters,
He was
essentially.
Russian. That's it. Like that's
That's kind of a
Well-
big part of the Crimson Dynamo, isn't it?
I mean, with Marvel, you gotta understand that they cut a little corner to make their Thor Ragnarok had pieces of Planet Hulk when Planet Hulk
Yes.
could have been its own separate movie, but it was still an amazing, fun movie.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, no.
Much about that. I mean, Marvel they do this thing where they do slap. I mean, if anybody's gonna argue, it's probably gonna be Iron Man 3, and wait, that's the Mandarin, and then you find out who the Mandarin really is, and
That was such a reveal.
Oh, I was
God
so
damn.
mad.
Well,
So
but then you
mad.
find
So
out
bad.
there
so
is
that's
a real.
it's their own.
Yeah, you find out there is a real Mandarin, but now they've completely dropped the Mandarin storyline.
Yes, they have.
They haven't said anything about it since.
Yeah,
I still thought Ben
it's
Kingsley was
terrible.
hilarious, though.
They're not
I
going
mean,
to.
Ben Kingsley. How often does Ben Kingsley just get to kick back and have fun in a movie? Like, never.
Wasn't he
Even
in
like Prince of
an
Persia, he
Uwe
was-
Boll movie? Wasn't he in like?
Let's not bring that up. That's Bloodborne. What are you doing? Or not Bloodborne.
I mean,
Blood
the
Rain.
check cleared.
Blood
Okay,
Rain,
Like,
He will never do a Bloodborne movie. I will stop him. But no, I mean, like in Iron Man 3, he just got to kick back and be this drunken Brit, and it was perfect. It made up for whatever he did in Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. So
I don't remember what he did in that movie.
that's
for good
because-
reason. There's for good.
Although Gyllenhaal going from Bubble Boy to Prince of Persia was kind of an interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he's going to be Mysterio and a kick-ass Mysterio at that.
I hope so.
So
We hope.
Yeah.
We hope.
He's got the costume. That's a start.
He said, "Kid, you don't want any part of this."
Here's my bubble helmet to prove it.
so
Fishbowl ahoy.
The fish are dead.
I forget where I learned this week, but so Tobey Maguire was threatening not to come back for Spider-Man 3.
He
And
probably
they
should
said-
have made good on that threat.
Well, so
Yeah.
and they said that's cool. We're just going to replace you with Jake Gyllenhaal. Anyway, which was super. Like I want to
Jake
know. I want to
Gyllenhaal.
live in that universe that happened. Like, do they just pull another War Machine where it's like, oh, we just had another actor walk in and not acknowledge it at all?
I mean, that's what they do in movies anyway when they have to replace the.
Yeah.
the
Well, I have the
actors.
only copy
That's-
of Back to the Future with Eric Stoltz, so just saying.
Yeah, I mean, not
It's
to
what they
mention
did
like
between. What's
the
that?
third Mummy movie when they got rid of Rachel Weisz and replaced her with that other actress that I forget.
Oh,
Right, or
because
when
she.
they had Maggie Gyllenhaal play as that. I forget what the-
Katie Holmes' character.
Yeah.
Holmes,
So Batman Begins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
She actually did better with it, so I was happy.
yeah,
She kind of did, didn't she?
I liked her in that better.
Aaron, is this enough stretching?
Yeah, you went about 15, 20 minutes past anything that I needed.
He
Like,
forgot what he was doing. That's how far he went.
we're good.
I'm dedicated. So.
I appreciate it. All right. Well,
But anyway, what have you been playing?
yeah, let me run through this real fast. I started playing Gigantic Army on the Switch. Which anybody play Gigantic Army?
Been out for years on Steam.
Yes, it has been on Steam for many years. So it's
Is this the mech game?
yeah, but the 2D
Yeah, I
action
thought-
platformer.
I think Robert
I
mentioned
this,
before on
yeah.
Arcast.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. The only thing about it, I knew there was a time limit, but I put it on easy. And I was just coasting through, not realizing that if I don't get all those little T icons, I'm in trouble. So then I got to a boss like level 4 and I died. And I was like, why did I blow up? And I realized that my time was completely done. So
Yeah, you definitely want to pay attention to those questions.
yeah, I learned the hard way. Yeah, like most things in my life.
Yeah, at least you didn't fall off the stage. It
Exactly.
apparently doesn't have a bottom.
And pay to do
Where
it.
is the bottom? Where is the bottom to this floor?
Where do I throw my wallet?
Sorry.
Played.
Not to bring up a painful memory.
We did. I played some Awesome P on the Switch. That's a game that's trying to be modeled after, I guess, a original Game Boy game with the color palette. It's a basic platformer. You just collect little coins and diamonds. It gets kind of nutty. It starts off extremely easy, and then it just ramps up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, if you're me, you're banging your head against the table. But it's fun. It's not doing anything revolutionary. It's just a very basic Game Boy-esque platform where you're a little pea and you jump and collect crap. So
Yeah. And I think the nature of it is just too repetitive. Like, they did some stuff with the level designs, but you got to get used to, like, the green background.
after about 5 minutes, I was okay with it. But yeah, it's if you don't like the visuals, you're just not gonna want to.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of those that flourish with colors like Shovel Knight did.
Yeah. Okay, I think you're right. If they did add color, it would pop a bit more. But no, it's pretty basic, but it's fun. Played some Rhyme 9000 on PS4. That's a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. But I don't recall if there was a seizure warning when you started, but there should be.
Oh, man.
Because there's so much crap going on that screen. It's just like, man, it's fun. It's just I kept dying in the first boss because I would get to a point where I thought I was in a safe spot, but I was really just dying slowly. But I'm still firing at the boss, and then I blow up. Like, well, why did I blow up? But yeah, so I don't know. Have you played it, Robert?
Yeah, I have. It's definitely an acquired taste. I think it's a matter of you got to get used to so much flashing up on the screen. I got thrown off a couple times. It's
me
got
too.
flair to it. I think
Yeah. So I stopped by Tiny. I was in your neck of the woods last week. Stopped by Second and Charles. I went up to the cashier. I was purchasing WrestleMania 2000 for the Game Boy, I believe. And I happened to see an NES cartridge with a sticker with someone's name on it. It said Bill. And it was a shade of pink. I'm like, what game could that be? And I looked closer. I'm like, that's Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. I'm like, I never see that sitting anywhere. So I said, is Bill here? And the guy cashier was like, I think he left. Can I buy this game? He called his manager. Was like, if the guy left, I guess he left. So I picked it up. And for considerably less than it's going for on eBay. But it's going for like between like $110 and like $150. I got it for well under $100. Well, so, and I played it with the 9-year-old. She was digging. I didn't think she would like it just because it's all menu driven, where you walk forward, walk back. But we started getting into it, solving some of the puzzles and things. So hopefully we'll sit down and maybe finish up some of it this weekend. So yeah, I kind of stopped collecting NES games for the most part, but you see Princess Tomato and Salad Kingdom in the wild.
Yeah.
For like $70. Like, come on. You gotta go for it.
Good.
So, yeah.
I mean, I must have missed the call that you were around and we could have gotten like lunch or something. But I mean, yeah, no.
You always I'm on my way back from Jersey, man. I'm trying.
Can't stop by my house on the way home.
I mean, it's Delaware. It's only a 5-minute.
Yeah,
drive
I
through.
5-hour drive.
I guess I should call you and say, hey, I'm 10 minutes from Second and Charles.
Like, nah, man,
Do you want to watch me buy this game?
Right. We'll be there. We can observe the hack.
It's an experience. I'll tell you.
Exactly. I love when you bought that game, man. That was great.
Remember that one time when there was this other guy who was going to buy the game, bought it, ran out from under him, and then I drove home because we didn't have lunch.
Good times. Good times.
That's the Vegas story I've heard all day.
This game is not a video game, but it's a card game called The Game by the makers of The Mind, which is a game where you cooperatively put cards down in numerical order without talking. Very fun game.
I've read the game, but I haven't played the game.
The game
by the company.
No.
It's by Neil Strauss.
But
It's available on the shelves at the store.
It's at Target. It's actually an end cap Target game. They reprinted it because the first art was terrible. It's like vampires and had nothing to do with anything. Basically, this is a game where you have 4 piles. 2 have 1 up, 1 and up, and then 2 have 100 and down. The whole point is you cooperatively. You can talk. You just can't say numbers. You take turns playing at least 2 cards a turn. You want to get rid of all of the cards. But the trick is, let's say I put down like 87 on the 100 and down pile. Well, one of the 2. But you have like 97. So you could put down you can go up in the down pile or down in the up pile by having your card be 10 more than the card that's there. So it's pretty fun. So I played it with some coworkers.
The strangest version of Go Fish I ever heard.
I
didn't think about it that way. That's
up in the
good
down pile, down in the up pile. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know, I'm my board game, card game kick. So yeah.
I mean, I feel like that this could be like very easily converted into a Stranger Things card game, where like you go into the Upside Down or you're into Earth. You know,
that's a good idea, actually.
Either that or the most messed up game of Cards Against Humanity ever.
Where no one's laughing.
Why not both?
Yeah.
I hate all of you.
So you provided a serious answer. Well done. Well done.
Played some Riddle Corpses EX on the Switch. I played it on the Xbox One. It's a twin stick shooter, sort of a top downish isometric game. I forgot how much grinding there is.
Oh yeah.
I used to grind for I played the first level like 12 times.
Are you generally a twin stick shooter fan?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily good at them, but I like them.
Okay. Have you played Enter the Gungeon?
I have. I am not good at that either.
Yeah.
But All Android Cactus, boom.
Yeah.
That I've been doing better with. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Gungeon to death. I had moments like where I just kind of just play that like all the time, and even at like PAX East or PAX West? I forget. Like it was like last year. And I remember going to like the Devolver's booth, and they were kind of showing it off for like, the new DLC that they were coming out with.
Mhm.
And I literally went through the entire game, just like standing there, people were, like watching, and like after I beat the game, I just like hand the controller to like the next person, like, here you go.
You beat that game standing.
I beat the game there on the show floor.
And they didn't even give you anything. They didn't even thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only people who were like watching me were like the people like who were like waiting for their turn, and like I
They
heard
weren't
them
getting
like
one.
like
This guy's gonna be here all day.
yeah, I mean, like, I was like hearing them kind of just complain. It's like she's gonna be there like the entire time. I was like,
I was gonna
I know this game, so
I was gonna say let's not do that this year, but then I'd say be there all day.
yeah. Well, this year is gonna be all about Samurai Showdown, and you and I are definitely
Yeah,
gonna go
sure.
head to
Yeah.
head in that.
Yep.
That is going to be there.
Kick your
Shout out to Ben. Friend of the show,
Yeah.
Ben is a big Samurai Showdown fan. I think he has every version of the game or something close to that, so he's a big fan of that.
That
we need
new
to get
game
good
looks
one.
awesome, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we
honestly,
need
like the way it looks and the way it feels is kind of giving like off like a lot of Street Fighter 4 vibes. You know, so feels like a return to
King
that
Fighter
franchise.
14 vibes.
So
yeah.
is this like does this have a number or is this Samurai Showdown?
Just
Just
Samurai
Samurai
Showdown.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or Samurai Spirits, technically, because that's the original.
Samurai Spirits is the Japanese name, but I think it's still
Yeah.
going by Samurai Showdown here because that's the American name. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Play some Dick Wild 2 for the on PSVR.
Excuse me.
It's
Once again, we've stepped
You
into
know,
a
just
porno
casually
podcast.
drop. I've been playing some Dick
Play some
Wild.
Dick Wild. Haven't we
Dick
all?
going wild.
So I'm
Alright.
playing
And
some.
PSVR, so I'm afraid to ask game.
Oh no, it's a shooter. So, but then
Hardcore. I mean, what?
yeah, but this.
Hardcore.
Well, actually,
There's only one mode.
I didn't realize
Hardcore.
that the gun you have when you like on the menu, it's like it shoots like cocktail weenies. I didn't realize that's till I was like getting ready to leave the game. Like, wait a minute, this is a cocktail weenie gun. So,
Sounds legit.
but you're on a swamp and you're like shooting birds
Cocktail
and
weenies.
cocktail weenies and fish. You know, like you do. So
you do.
We talked about Android Assault Cactus already, and the last thing I played some more Hyper Jam. I wish more people were playing that game because it is so much fun, but no one is playing. I couldn't find a game online. It's a shame. I blame all of you. All of you.
As you should.
Yep.
You should be playing Hyper Jam.
I'll take the blame for that. That's fine.
It's a great game. It's on. Is it on?
I
Xbox?
suck at it, though. I haven't won around yet.
Online or just versus?
No, online. People are vicious.
I haven't found a game online. I need to keep trying. I have it on Steam and PS4. I need to. Yeah. So
I
that's
got
pretty much
Xbox
it.
One and found it online pretty easy.
Okay. I wish it had crossplay. That would probably solve a lot of the problems, but that's not always easy for a small developer just to implement just like that. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of stuff here in the things of interest. We kind of talked about a lot already. I'm not going to go through all of this stuff, but apparently somebody ported Windows 10 to the Switch. I don't
I mean,
know
makes
why,
sense.
but I mean,
Probably needs to be updated anyway.
yeah.
It's an NVIDIA tablet. Like, okay, yeah, there's a version that will run on there.
So
On an ARM processor.
yeah, that happened. Switch turned 2 what, a week ago, 4 days ago, the 3rd or something like
Yeah.
that.
Earlier this week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Means Horizon Zero Dawn earned it a week before that.
yeah.
Because I was like, I remember just playing that for a little while, and then like, oh, Legend of Zelda's here. Let's
You threw your PS4 out of a window. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna go play that for a while now.
Who needs it?
Well, I want to coincidentally, very conveniently that year, the Switch came out, and then I think Extra Life United was like the next, and then PAX was the week after that, and then I was like, cool, I'm gonna be traveling. This would be a great time to play some Breath of the Wild.
yeah.
Because I think Mass Effect came out during that time too.
Yeah.
So
It was a busy time.
All right, the guy Aaron Tager, the voice of Cranky Kong in the Donkey Kong Country cartoon series, he passed away. He was 84. What else? Apparently, Microsoft. I guess I don't know who started this. I don't know if it was the Discord store or Epic store. Apparently, Microsoft was offering up to 95% of the cut to developers for certain, I guess, more popular games. I think it's like between 85 and 95%, which is kind of high. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's really going to care that much, but we'll see. I don't know. There's a lot more stuff on the the Microsoft Store than there used to be.
You know what? Another thing I wanted to bring up here, we actually talked about this the other night with Bill Gardner, who was not happy with the news, but Turok and Turok 2 are coming to Nintendo Switch. The first Turok will make its premiere March 18th, and then Turok 2 will premiere later this year. It's done by Night Dive Studios, the same guys that brought it to those games to Xbox One and Steam. So
Seeds of Evil.
they'll be top-notch port. And yeah, I know we were talking about like the Turok series and like what the appeal was, and I'm like, well, the games were technically born on a Nintendo system.
They were.
So seeing them go back to a Nintendo system, there is appeal there, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then he went off in a 20-minute spiel about the history of something. No, I'm kidding.
The history of something.
The history of refrigerators. He goes off and rants all the time.
Does the cerebral bore work in the single player?
In Turok 2?
Yeah.
I believe so.
I would,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a single player. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what is it, defective?
No, I'm not. I remember from multiplayer.
Yeah,
using that.
yeah.
Oh, multiplayer was that be like, oh, he fired it, run!
Yeah,
Just
you're right.
liquefies
You're
your
screwed that
brain out just out of your head. So good stuff. Well, I would have to convince people to even play it really because it wasn't Perfect Dark or Gold, and I was like, what are we doing?
way. Right. Well, we
Why
had
are we
that
playing
discussion
this?
too, like about like how like trying to convince people to play the quote unquote lesser multiplayer games, and there are like the better alternatives to them. So
When I was in college, I remember somebody had a copy of The World Is Not Enough on N64, and I was like, why are you all playing this game? Like who? Like where did you learn? I feel like that old commercial. Where did you learn this? Like who taught you this? Why don't you have
You
GoldenEye?
did! I learned it by watching you!
Not me. We had GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Like, why are you?
I played through that game last year. That game is a lot of fun on the N64. So,
I've heard that, but I mean,
but on the other hand, I think you got a new appreciation for Superman 64 also.
you played a lot of that game, and we sat there crying inside. But yeah,
For our extra life.
it was worth it for the kids. It was worth it. And the last thing is apparently Nintendo has been telling the people who are making companies making their smartphone games to make players spend less money, which seems like
Right.
the opposite of what a company would do. But I respect that because
Yeah,
Yeah.
big nod to that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they want their people to enjoy the games, but they don't want to go like crazy out with Fortnite and buying $900 worth of shorts.
right.
you can only wear one at a time. So yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know what the incentive is for them, but like if it is like sort of like a marketing move as far as like trying to appeal to like the actual hardcore gaming crowd, then I think it's a good move either way. It's also like a good move too, I feel like anyway, because like obviously with like microtransactions, people are like on the fence as far as like whether it's gambling or not, like if kids should be allowed to like buy microtransactions, things like that. Just I guess like the legality behind it is like a bit in the clouds, but I think it's a good move either way for them. So
I agree. I didn't even think about it from that perspective, but yeah, it gets them to avoid a lot of that crap that they would have to. I guess what is it, like Belgium and some other countries who.
yeah, China I think
definitely.
is a big one
China.
too. With them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the other part of here is if Nintendo truly views these as commercials or their larger games on more
Just
traditional-
offer the wizard. No, I understand. It makes perfect
Well, no,
sense.
it's more if they don't have to keep supporting this. If people haven't made large investments, they will have the ability to essentially abandon
And walk
games
away.
inside the mobile platform.
That's an
soon.
interesting. Like
It's
we began
is-
with our exit strategy. Okay, let's-
well, not, it's
We
but
got
think
it now,
about-
guys.
exactly.
Think about how many apps iOS users lost when they transitioned from 2 to 4-bit.
There was that port of Resident Evil 4,
Like
Street Fighter
Think about
4.
the outrage, like, oh, you're not going to have access to the Bioshock port, or the developers that had to go back, or XCOM, or because these are games that are no longer being actively supported. But if someone makes a change to the environment, you can no longer use it.
Yeah.
So, but if you limit the investment that someone can make in it, it is more disposable, and it still acts as the commercial for your products, which is what Nintendo
Yeah, but
said was their ultimate goal to begin with this mobile development.
yeah, I guess
It's
it's
all
just
supposed to be, hey, this is to bring people into our ecosystem so they play our traditional games.
that's a different type of long game. I guess I'm not used to hearing a company be forthright about saying that they're embracing. Because you would figure companies like, hey, let's make money today. Who
Well,
cares
right,
what
but-
happens tomorrow? Money now.
In a company that has traditionally shied away from some of this stuff and still look at Nintendo Online, maybe they're not embracing that because this isn't the culture that they're looking for in any of their systems. Like the Switch
Yeah.
Online service is not going to portray this idea.
They're banning
Yeah.
the Switch. What are you saying?
I mean, it might be that.
I just put these analog nubs on. You know how long that took?
All right. I mean, like it might be that, and it might also partially be because they're already making like hand over fist like with the Switch anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It makes the decision a little easier, I guess, to not push so hard on that, or at least them saying that they're not going to push so hard on that. So who knows?
And oh, sorry, no.
No, yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say there's another thing to consider too. Nintendo kind of veered, into more mature rated territory with like hardcore gamers and stuff, and millennials apparently. But they also want to remind people, they're still friendly to family gamers, and they understand parents are going to go and buy the Pokemon games and the Zelda games and everything like that. So they don't want to go too nuts if they realize their kid spent like, I don't know, $80 on Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
On mobile. So,
Exactly.
there's a few things to consider there.
And didn't get that sword they wanted.
Yeah.
The one that cuts.
I get Sora.
But Aaron, if that's the last news, I'm going to throw one out real quick. Hey, if you're running Chrome, please update it and then restart it, because the 0 day that was in the wild discovered this week is really will let people take over, will allow people to access your data and potentially take over the client. So yeah, if you're running Chrome on pretty much any platform, please update it and then restart the process.
Doesn't Chrome update by itself?
It only will update if you shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
So an update can sit in queue, but
Like
not
Chrome.
take effect until you shut down all instances of Chrome running on the machine.
My Chrome was acting up, I know, earlier today, and I had to shut it down entirely and just restart it, and like it worked fine then. So I don't know if that's like related to that, but
Have you been
it's good word
compromised, David?
advice.
Are you compromised? Should we
He's
be
completely
worried?
That could
compromised.
be. Yeah. This isn't really me. It's an AI.
It's a scroll.
It's very
Hi, I'm
convincing.
David Geltonen for sure. For sure.
I do
I
not
am
miss
the
Mark
guilty
at
one.
all. I am glad he's gone.
DDR is my favorite. Watch my feed go.
Mhm.
But
The Ultron of DDR.
That's you can tell he's not human because he dances like a robot. Whatever.
all right, that's
Wow,
that's
that was
going to do it for
horrible.
us. We should wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right, Robert, shout outs, plugs, all that good stuff.
Sure. You can check me out over at the Artcast over at retrozap.com alongside David. You can check me out at twitter.com/TheDCD. Also on Facebook. And you can check out my work at mmogames.com as well as superherohype.com and maroonersrock.com.
Is that stuff in your Twitter bio?
No, I'm just putting I'm writing stuff, but it's pretty easy to find my stuff. I talk about it all the time. I don't shut up. Something's wrong with me.
I say that because I didn't type that as you were saying it, but I'll make sure it goes into the show notes.
Yeah, no worries. I'll pass along links after the show if you want me to.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. All right, David, how about you?
Yeah, so I do the Rcast along with Robert, so you can find that at retrozap.com/Rcast. We also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/Rcast, so we're moving along with that. You can find me on Twitter at The Guilty Man. I'm also on Instagram at The Guilty Man. And yeah, I also do writing also for NintendoEnthusiast.com, so keep them busy with all the things.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys for stopping by and chatting with us.
Yeah,
Sure thing.
I told you it would be 15
This has been
minutes. It's been
fun.
much longer. So
Yeah. Well, no worries.
15
We got-
hours.
Yeah. And here's another game I hate, but I paid full money for.
I can't fall in this one.
Yeah, right. You should see my library. I despise it. I have to go outside, and then I buy more for my library. It's a vicious hate-love cycle.
Mike, we should play online, man.
Yeah, we should.
We can fall together.
Yes.
Catch me.
You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you. I try my best.
Mike, how about you?
Might go to sleep.
Mike?
Like,
He didn't hear our jokes at his expense?
Yeah.
What's the point?
He heard we were making fun of his thing, so he and dropped to the floor.
Oh, F these guys.
I
I'm
don't need
off
to
the
hear
show.
this. I'm going down to the floor.
I'm going to play Smash to spite them.
And fail.
That's inevitable for me. So, well, Mike, if you
You'll find him somewhere at the bottom of the Smash levels. That's where you can find him.
Toddy, how about you? Since Mike has disappeared.
Hey, I mean, we've been talking about this, but it's March 2019, and you should sign up for Extra Life. Go to extra-life.org, sign up and find a team. If you want to join the GameEnthus team, it's above me. There's the link to it. You can both donate and join. So, and my Twitter and Facebook and whatnot will be getting increasingly more just Extra Life United stuff as this comes up, because we're prepping for the build for the 33 laptops we'll be using for the tournament. So nice. That'll be fun. And the workshop that I'm supposed to be putting on. So yeah, we'll figure that out at some point.
Somebody will write.
Right. Well, I just found out we're not gonna have a projector. I'm like, I could bring one. I just have to fly down with it. So
why can't they can't provide a projector?
It's not like high school. They probably not projectors.
Well, right, but
can you get the little overhead thing? Something. I mean,
hey, I never wanted. I did transparency. So people who listen know my undergrad degree is in education. I've done transparencies. I don't ever want to touch transparencies again. I never need to make another one of those.
You can see right through them.
They never dry. Oh God.
Sorry.
They never.
He'll be here all week.
Like they never like. They're like, oh, these are like inkjets. They're not. They're all lies.
No, they're not like inkjets. No.
So, but no, I have a Pico projector somewhere. I just have to find it. Like it's small enough.
Sega Pico? What are we talking about?
No, Pico projector is usually a handheld pocket projector. It's usually a DLP.
Okay, this is much less interesting than a Sega Pico projector.
Sorry,
I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not a Sega made one.
That's what I want to hear about.
Show anybody you're playing a Sega Pico. Never went.
I was tempted to buy one actually at a Bagfest. The guy really wanted to get rid of it. I was like,
please.
No.
I saw a full ROM collection of Pico the other day.
You didn't buy it?
No, this was like ROMs. Like you just go down.
Oh, ROM. Okay, I'm sorry. You said ROMs.
So, like,
buy all the ROMs. They're on sale.
I kind of want to know
Send them your credit card.
How a Pico ROM works? Because like, didn't you have to have the book?
Yeah, the pen and all that crap.
And it's just like it was like, oh, it noted, it read the whatever the code on the edge to know what page you're on, and so when you clicked on it, it did something based on page and whatever location or however it read. And I'm like, I don't know how the ROM set would work, so I guess I need to go look if there's a Pico emulators. And then go steal Pico games and have Sonic, I don't know, come
kill wealthy knowledger. Got it.
So, but yeah, so Extra Life, sign up, support. There's 170 different children's hospitals to support. There's one near you, and it gives you a great excuse to play games and help sick kids. So yeah, so please. So yeah, and we'll figure out what GameEnthus is going to actually do later in the year. But
yes, we will.
We need to get past United. Just want to get past United. So.
The airline company? Or?
No, I'm sorry.
You're going to have to get on United, unless of course you fall off the plane, in which case,
if you fall off the plane into the abyss, then
there you go, full circle.
Extra Life United is the tournament that Extra Life runs down at Walt Disney World. That'll be going.
I like that you added the Walt part. Yeah, that's
Walt Disney World. And
the Walt,
you can,
Walt Disney.
Yeah,
Walter Disney.
Before it becomes Star Wars.
Participants will have the chance to win $150,000 for their hospital, up to $150,000. So,
oh well, it's still worth it.
Philadelphia's taken home a chunk of that pot, so let's just throw that out there. City of brotherly love, but we're super competitive. So.
City of brotherly beatdowns, more like it.
I mean, if we need to tell stories, if a Santa comes onto the field, start throwing batteries at him. Anyway.
Like you do?
Like Philadelphians do. So,
good luck, Bryce Harper.
I don't know. Don't be Santa on a Eagles. I don't ever go to the Eagles.
Was that the parody of The Simpsons where they were throwing like pretzels at that guy? Knocked him out.
They knocked him out with pretzels. And here comes the pretzels.
Oh, it's salty out there. Oh,
I think he's unconscious.
He's dead, Jim. We killed him with pretzels.
Stop. He's
Pretty
already
dead. All right, well, Rob, David, thank you for joining us. Thank you for the listeners who jumped into the chat and and said I forgot to mention Cody wants us to play Anthem, and he wants to know when Mike is. Well, Mike's not here. So Mike was coming to Northern Virginia to get a beer because I guess since he was talking about beer online on Twitter. Cody likes beer.
Here's your beer plug again for.
Ooh, that's cool. I mean, even with a pending lawsuit, it's still dope. So I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
because it's coming.
So I'll save that one for you there, Robert, when you come in for.
Sounds good. Make sure it's cold.
Yep, I'll keep it under my armpits.
Yeah, bring it in a cooler. That's how it works. One of those little igloo things.
Its own. He wants it in a separate igloo all by itself.
Yeah. It's my birthday weekend.
Don't want it touching
like Pulp Fiction all over again. Like open it up with the orange glow.
It's heaven.
Robert and David's information will be in the show notes. So if you want to look them up, anything they've talked about, you'll be able to find the links there. Shout out to Mike and Tani. Once again, Mike maybe fell asleep. It happens. If you want to leave us feedback, you can always hit us up on Twitter at GameEnthus. You can see all the different Twitter handles up there. And if you want to send us an email, and do so to podcast@GameEnthus.com, Tani415@GameEnthus.com, Assault2@GameEnthus.com, and Aaron at GameEnthus.com. Or Indifference to Game. I don't really use that one, but it's all the same. You want to leave us a voicemail, you can reach us at 202-573-7686. And check out the YouTube channel. There's plenty of videos up there. There's almost more videos than actual subscribers, which is like weird and kind of crazy. So don't let us cross that line.
We've already crossed like 20,000 lines already.
Exactly. Just stop it. Don't let us fall off that plane into the abyss. Let us stay on on solid ground.
We need to get like the Doctor Strange gift so I can just do full circle.
Right?
A rewind time or not.
We're going to another plane of existence.
So that's going to do it for us for this week. Hopefully I'll see you guys at PAX.
Yep, we'll be around.
I'll
be there.
Just find us at the Samurai Showdown booth.
Pretty much, yeah. Sorry, we have to close the expo hall. I don't care. I'm playing Samurai Showdown.
We brought sleeping bags, man. We're staying here. Right.
Yeah, this is our life now.
We have sleeping bags and cups of Orange Julius. We're playing Samurai Showdown. I don't know why I'm mentioning Orange Julius.
007 beer. Bingo.
The 007 beer.
That's oddly weird and warm.
Yeah. It's Golden Rye 007. That's what.
Does it say that on it?
Yeah. It's Golden Rye.
Golden Rye. Oh, okay. Golden Rye. I guess I missed that part.
I'm going to open it with my laser watch. It's going to be...
That's going to be messy, but yeah.
Yeah. It might be.
All good things are. Just ask, Mike when he plays Smash.
It's worth trying. It's worth trying, even if you hate it. So
that's one way of looking at it.
I don't like this beer. Buys a 6-pack.
This is terrible. Give me the case.
He's gonna wake up and be like, "What happened?"
He's fine. I don't know.
He's fine.
Mike is Mike. We love Mike for who he is. Yeah, let's get out of here. Any final words, gentlemen, before we get out of here?
Enjoy Smash if you buy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy anything if you buy it.
Enjoy Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, there you go. That's the spirit.
Yeah, do it. Enjoy Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and mind the gap if you're playing Smash.
Yeah. Remember to keep your feet on solid ground.
Yeah. It helps to win. So.
Don't jump out of airplanes.
Just pick Kirby and you just float your way to success.
Float too. You'll float too.
You'll float too.
All right, we're out of here.
Peace.
See ya.
Oh man.
All right, and that is a